Yeah, that's the sound of basically a defeated man that has forgotten something. And what we forgot was to mention some key details of the business here before the podcast. We kind of got caught up in the moment. We had some guests in. We just jumped right into things. So here I am. I'm going to handle some of the business before we start the podcast. Very exciting announcements. VPA, Vantage Point Archery, has decided to join us and do a giveaway. They are offering up a pack of the Omega with bleeders. We're throwing in a whitetail distraction hat, some stickers. It's going to be a little prize pack for winner takes all. Simple rules. Got to follow them, got to follow us. Like the post, tag 3 friends. Extra bonus points for anyone after the 3 friends that you tag. And if you share the post to your story, you're going to get bonus entries. We're going to draw the winner live at Camo Cares this weekend. That's right, guys. Camo Cares is this weekend, Saturday. We want to see you there. An amazing event. There's a lot going on. If you're not shooting, show up. There's tons of things to do while you're there. There's raffles, there's giveaways, there's drawings. It's incredible. You're raising money for an absolutely amazing cause. The heroes will be there. It's just something that you need to experience. So going back to the giveaway, we are offering the Omega with bleeders in 125 grain to 300 grain. You can pick. You can pick which bevel, right or left. We can help you decide what that is if you need it. If you're diehard, you're stuck on 100 grain, they do offer 100 grain without the bleeders. The winner, whenever we announce it, we'll get a hold of you and we'll make sure the details are right and you're getting the right broadhead. Also, want to announce some of our other amazing partners and one return partner, which may not be a big surprise to a lot of you, but we are working with Scree Gear again. Scree has been something that we have believed in, we've trusted, we've used for many, many years, and I'm very happy to announce that we are partnering with them once again. We will have a discount code for you set up very soon, and we'll announce that for you guys. Pay attention. It should be on social media or wherever, but we're going to have that out to you. Also, they are offering up a giveaway for the fall. So when we announce the fall giveaway, be ready. VIP Archery, some of the best mechanical broadheads in the business. It's a hybrid cut-on contact, absolutely slices and dices Freddy Krueger blood. If Austin were here, that's what he would say. And he's right. I mean, it's an absolutely incredible broadhead. There's a reason we've been using them for so long. And now I feel like we have the complete package that we offer any broadhead that you want as a partner of this show. And that is incredible to be working with 2 of the top dogs in the industry. Back 40 Seed Company, guys, it's time to start looking at fall plots. Where are you going to plant them? What do you want to plant? What are we doing with our fall plot seeds? So go check out Back 40 Seed Company. Distraction 10 will get you 10% off. And while we're on the topic, why don't you get out and feed some of your local deer? I know that's been kind of a running thing with us over the last couple years. Feed your local deer herd. It's that time of year. Antler growth, fawns, everything's happening right now. This is a great time to get out there and get food on the ground. And let's be honest, what else are you doing out there? So stay busy, friends. That's all I got. Business is handled. We'll see you.
Hey, I just got back from lunch. Did you finish that report yet?
Well, not exactly. Still working on it. I'm not finished just yet. I got a little sidetracked, but I will get them to you first thing this afternoon.
It is first thing this afternoon.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but I mean, I am working on
But
it. I'll have,
what do you mean that the report isn't finished yet?
I'm still in the process of working on it. I've just been a little distracted.
Distracted. Our meeting starts in an hour.
I can have it.
No. What were you doing? Were you listening to another hunting podcast again? I swear, I give the staff in this office the freedom to do whatever they want to do as long as they meet a deadline. That is the first bullet underneath your job description. Pays attention to detail and deadline. Dude, are you even listening to me right now?
Welcome to episode 204 of the Whitetail Distraction Podcast. My name's Austin, and joining me in the podport, Charles Hedlund. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good.
I'm okay.
How are you?
I'm good.
Anyways, break the ice. Hi, Cibelli. How are you?
Hello.
Brian Cibelli's here.
Yeah, I'm just
Unfortunately.
just hiding in the corner.
Hey, Joe Mo's here as well. What's up, brother?
Hello.
What's up?
What's up?
What's up? What's up?
Yo,
In reality, were there any better commercials back in the day?
This is
than
the
that?
best, dude. Anywhere
dude,
you went, you
top
heard about
notch.
that.
That
Everybody
and
went
like
off.
the Bud Wise.
Oh, yeah.
Those
Classics.
commercials.
Dude, the
were just
commercials are not
fire.
the same anymore.
I'm glad I don't have cable
Yeah,
television
they're
anymore.
No, they
Never
suck now.
I'm not gonna say.
They're terrible. They're horrible.
Horrible.
All right, boys. Well, here's the sad news. Turkey season's over.
Yeah, sorry.
Everyone take a minute of silence. Deep breath.
No?
That's a terrible
Sound a
turkey
little
gobble.
Jakish.
Yeah, it was
It
very
is a little
Jakey.
Jakeish.
Sounded a little Jakish.
Yeah.
I'd
all right.
shoot it. I'd shoot a Jake right now.
Chuck.
All good
Towards the
things
very end
come
there,
to
that
an
was
end.
Chuck's target. He wasn't walking those last couple days.
Dude, I've mentioned it before. I don't know about on here, but elsewhere. This was a weird year, and the birds were weird. Joe and I talk about this a lot.
Oh yeah.
But dude, I don't know what it is. There's been a lot of like oddly immature 2-year-old birds that think they're still Jakes, and they still hang out with Jakes. I mean, Cibelli, you literally the spot you and I were hunting. That bird like never gobbled. He hung out with the Jakes all day long in the hens. He had this little head and this tiny short beard, real thin beard, and he just looked like a Jake.
What are you making fun of him for?
But he had a full fan.
He's
Yeah,
got
it's kinda
feelings
messed up.
too.
I don't know, dude. It's just like I said, these birds were weird. It was a weird. I saw the same thing on the private property. I chased the same kind of bird. Now he gobbled his head off, but he had the same short, skinny beard and small head, full fan.
It was just like every bird all year. It seemed like.
Yeah, well,
I mean, even beyond, like say your typical 2-year-old that's just gobbling his head off, like that makes like it was just everywhere. The opener. from a
I
lot of
didn't
states.
even really experience any of those other than the one that Sam shot, and I don't think that was a 2-year-old bird. I think that was an old, big, mature bird. I mean, that thing was enormous. His beard was touching the ground. But they
I
came
can't
in.
remember.
Sam, my buddy Sam, when I was with him, he shot the bird, and then we let it lay there, and it jumped up like 5 minutes later and ran away.
I'm not remembering
real?
that.
Thought I
Not
told you that
remembering
story.
this.
Yeah, I didn't tell that story.
No.
I don't remember that.
Okay, well, I'll tell the story then. We're on a podcast about turkeys, right? Anyways,
Turkey was like, got your ass.
yeah, we went out. We went to Sam's parents' house, and
This is here.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, this is PA. We went to his parents' house because we hunted it last year. I shot my bird there last year. Real nice one, big long spurred turkey, and he had been over there checking on his chickens. He bought a bunch of meat chickens, and dude, there were 2 longbeards in the middle of the yard, just strutting, walking through the middle of the yard, middle of the day. I was like, all right, well, if we can roost them, we'll go. It was like a Thursday morning or something. I'll go before work. We roosted them. They were where they were years past. We used to have a blind back there. So we took it down, and I'm like, it's no big deal. There's a big tree we can sit up into. We get all back in there, and sure enough, it turned about that time, and they were in perfect position. I mean, this was literally the best hunt of my year. Like, this is the greatest. They were exactly where they're supposed to be, about 80 to 100 yards away, back over top of the creek. There was a beautiful, big, open flat where they come down, and then we were right on the other side of it. So he starts gobbling, get him fired up a little bit, like 5-6 gobbles. I just start making a little bit of tree yelps. Dude, he just like absolutely fired up. And next thing you know, he's on the ground. And it's still early. Sam was like, I could see him like getting into his gun. I thought, because we're kind of sitting on like a little bit of a hillside. There's a big hump back there. And right at the base of that hump's where that tree fell up into the hump. So we're like laying in the tree, basically. I'm up above him to the left. He's down below me. And we're kind of working our way through this tree. But I'm like, he must be sliding down the hill. He's like, I see him. I was like, no shit, really? Because I didn't see the bird come down.
Right.
He's like, he's out there probably 70 yards coming right at me. I'm like, okay, cool. So we're sitting there. Another bird flies down. I watch him fly down and land. I'm like, okay, there's another one. Starts coming in, strutting the whole way in. Gobbling, strutting, gobbling, strutting, gobbling, working the whole way in. I didn't make a noise after those initial couple calls. He gets like 50, and I'm like, man, he's probably going to hang up right there at 50. And he did for a little bit. Well, then the second bird came in behind him. It was two toms, but the one was just absolutely a dominant bird. So he starts working across to our left at like 30. I thought he was 30 yards.
Yeah. Close
I
enough.
think he was
That-
like 32,
perfect.
right where you want him.
Yeah.
So he comes across and he's in a wide open spot. And if he goes any farther left, it's probably going to be me shooting them again, which I didn't want. So I knew based on where Sam was and I am that he was in a good spot. So I just gave him some real soft calls. And I think he gobbled. He stopped, gobbled, and then picked his head up perfect. and he shot. Now, when he shot, I didn't have clear view of the bird. I was watching the front one. The big one was in the back. But he shoots, and I see him kind of flop and go down, and then the other one flies up in the air, and that's when I grabbed my gun because I was recording it. I grabbed my gun, pull it up, and the other one ran off into the woods. Like, just so we're in the woods. But it's open woods, and then, like, the property line, the other side of the property is thicker than shit. Ran into the thicket and disappeared. And I'm like, okay, we killed the dominant bird. The less dominant bird, in most cases here, is going to come back and beat the shit out of that bird, in my mind.
Right.
So I'm like, did you get him? He's like, yeah, he dropped. He didn't even flop. It's like, okay, cool. And then I kind of see him flop a little bit. I'm like, all right, sweet, just calm down. Well, I missed the whole point of this story. He shoots that bird, and right before he goes to shoot, I catch out of the corner of my eye, a coon's coming in on us. Dude, he's 5 feet in front of my feet, walking right at Sam. He has no idea because he's down on the gun. So he shoots the turkey, and when he lifts off the gun, he looks down and sees the coon at like 6 feet, turns, boom, and just blasts him with the fucking holy shit.
This is not what I thought you were going to say.
He sent him flying, basically. Dude just blew him away with turkey load at 5
What a
feet.
savage, dude.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm deaf. I'm ringing. I'm like, that was fucking awesome. I'm like, just chill. I was like, you got the turkey? He's like, yeah, he went straight down. He didn't even flop. I'm like, yeah, baby, let's go. You know, I'm filming the after the fact. Because as soon as he shot him, I dropped my phone, grabbed my gun. So I'm filming him again, and we're hanging out there, and I'm just purring and soft calling. I'm like, that other bird's gonna come around. Well, his bird starts flopping a little bit and stops. And I'm like, all right, yeah, you got him, man. So we're sitting there, and a couple more minutes pass by, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know if he's gonna come back or not. And then I see his bird flop again. And I'm like, shit, probably get. And Sam at the same time as me kind of saying, you should probably go get him. He was like, I think he's gonna get, and he fucking jumps up to his feet and starts running away.
Unload your guns, baby.
So he shoots at him, pow! And at this point, the bird's probably 55, 60 yards of running away. Shoots at him. He takes flight and starts flying probably like 30 yards and falls out of the sky. I'm like, what is that? This is 5 minutes after the initial shot. The bird laid there basically dead, lifeless.
Just like knocked him out?
I'm guessing.
You think he just went like
I've no
whizzed like
clue.
right over him?
No, he definitely shot him. There was blood and feathers. Like, he hit him. I think he spined him. Is that a thing with turkeys?
Zombie turkey.
I don't know.
Right? I don't know.
I have no.
I'm imagining
My
maybe
brother
like
did that
a BB
one
got the
time.
spine or something.
Same.
And then he just
thing.
miraculously recovered from
He
his
just
spine
shook
damage?
it. He just shook it off and
Yeah.
got so we go down. He goes down there, and now mind you, I just sprained my ankle. I can't even get up and run after this thing. I'm pretty fucked. So I go hobbling over towards him. He ran after him. Can't find. I'm waiting for any minute to come back with a bird in his hand. Can't find him. I'm like, dude, he couldn't. Like, there's a creek and it's wide open on the other
And even
side.
falling
Well,
from
as-
the sky, like
Right.
that
he
far.
fell out of the sky, and like he's
that
still
had
on
to-
our side of the creek.
That
And,
had to jack him up too.
well, I kind of
would think.
screwed up here because I saw something run to the right. Well, it could have been it could have been anything. Could have been coon. Could have been anything. I don't know what it was, but I saw a shadow figure way off in the distance go right, and I'm like, I saw him go right, and he's like, I don't think so because I can see everything, and I'm like, I don't know. He could have just buried. So we started looking in all the little down trees and everything. Well, here I didn't know it. He didn't tell me, but he was hearing something kind of shuffling to the left. And I look
say
back
anything?
and he's running that way. And I'm like, oh shit. He said he was hung up in it was a giant multiflora rose thicket. Oh, he was hung up in it. He was stuck in there. And he could hear him kind of like struggling.
Thrashing around, yeah.
Yeah. And eventually he got up and flew along the creek, but like couldn't get up above like 5 feet off the ground. He said he flew straight down the creek bed. It's like, are you kidding me, dude? First off, why didn't he shoot? But like, I'm like, are you kidding me? How is this bird doing all this?
Holy
like, what is
shit.
happening right now? So we start walking that way.
This poor damn turkey.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, my God. And I feel horrible because I told him to wait and not go jump on it because we wanted to double up.
Would have had him.
Right. Easily would have had him. And I'm
I mean,
like,
it would have been a battle once he grabbed him, probably.
right?
But,
He
I
would
mean,
have
yeah.
probably got his ass spurred pretty good.
He would have had him.
Dude, I
more
bet
likely.
you this thing was a giant too.
Dude,
Like,
that turkey
he
was 300 years old. It was
Probably.
the Highlander of turkeys.
Yeah,
You had
he
to
was.
kill it and take its head to
That's
absorb
the
its
problem.
powers.
That's
Yeah.
the problem. So we start going after this bird, and it's again thicket. Like you get down around the creek, it's an absolute jungle. So we're walking down deer trails looking for this thing. It's thicker than all shit. There's a bird up in the tree. Flies off. I'm like, what? He said, yeah, there was a bird roosted up in this tree. He let me get all the way up to him, and he flew off. He took off flying. I don't know what it was. I couldn't see the bird. I said, you shitting me. I said, could it really be this turkey? Like he could barely even fly. I said, I don't know. So we keep going. I'm like, just in case, I'm going to go keep walking the creek bed.
I get on. What's the chances of birds on the limb that late in the morning? Well, that's there. All this. It sounds.
But the other thing is that bird ran that direction. The one that he didn't shoot. I said, so is that the second Tom that was up in the tree? Because he
went
said,
back to roost.
You know, maybe he flew back up in the tree after he shot at him or something, you know, and we started running down there. I'm like, it could have been that other bird. I wouldn't put too much into it. Well, here he keeps walking towards where it flew. The bird let him get past him and then flew off again the other direction. I'm like, are you shitting me, dude? Like, he's like, it was a big bird. I don't know what it was, but it was a big turkey. I'm like, you got to be shitting me. We couldn't find any blood, no feathers, anything other than the hit site. Never found him.
Sounds like a shapeshifter.
Didn't think about that.
I would never go back there again.
Turned into a fucking crawfish or something. Crawled up under a rock.
Hell. This turkey's like John Wick, just bandaging himself right now, just going, Chuck.
If this season wasn't hard enough.
Right.
If something like that happened.
That shit happened. I'm like, dude, that's not okay. Yeah, that was.
Well, I mean, hopefully he lived.
Well, that's what we were hoping as well. And here, apparently, he went down the road, or we left, and his brother-in-law lives there. And he's like, dude, there's a shit ton of turkeys in this other field. We must have spooked them all over there after the fact. But I don't know. We never saw those birds again. We never went back and hunted either. So
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
No.
I was afraid they would avenge him. Yeah. But that was like...
That's wild.
That was like the best turkey hunt of the year other than the results. Like, call the bird, comes in on literally, like I was pulling him in on a rope.
What about New York? You had a hell of a hunt there.
That was a great hunt. Not going to lie.
Yeah. That was
you had a bunch of good hunts, because even our failed one, where you had that bird coming in for me, I mean, we walked right under them.
Yeah.
I mean, you literally had a stick fall on
I'm not
you.
saying I had bad hunts, but like I'm talking the bird's behavior, being a turkey. Like the one in New York, he definitely acted like a turkey. It
was also, later in the day. It wasn't right off the roost. Like,
it was like
your
10 o'clock.
Your classic turkey hunt.
Right. Yeah, that bird. I mean, he also put on a show. That was a really cool hunt.
Oh yeah,
like,
what you
just
told me.
Worked the whole way around me.
Yeah.
The fact that I had to turn around the whole when I set up, he was directly in front of me, back to a tree.
12 o'clock.
12 o'clock, and he ended up getting shot at like 5:30.
Yeah.
Like literally to my 5:30. Like that's how far I had to twist the whole way, and I followed him the whole way.
That's hard, dude.
Wide open too, like wide open woods, and he come all the way around, cross the creek bed, which I didn't think he would do. Crossed it and come up on my side and just bah, bah, the whole time, and I'm not making a noise, and I'm like curling my body around, slipping out of my out of my vest. Finally, there was just enough play in that hill that when I think he gobbled and went behind some trees, and I dropped down, twisted around, and then came up on my knees, and he was standing right there, and I shot him.
Chuck killed the only gobbling turkey in New York.
In the whole state.
In the entire state.
And that's from multiple people. Dude. The only one. He's dead now.
He did.
So, sorry.
Entire generation lost.
And to that...
Whoa.
Whoa.
What are you doing?
I'm just cracking it.
Hey, I don't have one of those. What are those? Hold on a second here. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
to that... still smells fresh. I'm cracking open a fruit cocktail.
You want a hit of this?
It's happy hour, baby.
You want a hit of this, baby?
No.
Look at this.
It's happy hour. Cocktails.
Oh, God.
We're going to cheers. Come on, man.
Good gravy.
Yuck.
But, come on, Peaches.
I hope you guys get tetanus.
There you go.
Oh, yeah,
Come on,
baby.
cheers.
Don't want to spill any of the
You want a
juices.
little bit?
You're okay.
No,
I can
I'm
clean.
good.
That's syrup.
No, I'm good.
Which did you get? What did you get on this?
You want a hit of this?
Fat free.
You want a bump?
Oh.
Oh, it's so good, too.
You're lost, dude.
These guys look like
Normally we get the ones with the light syrup, right?
these guys look like billy goats.
Yeah, baby.
This has been all season long. I've been waiting for this.
Why?
From Joe, because this is our tradition. We drink.
dog.
We eat fruit.
You guys couldn't have
Out
like
of
a
a can.
tradition of like drinking all of the whiskey in the center of this table? Like,
That's not manly enough.
That would hurt me.
That's not.
That's not manly
It's not
enough.
original
as
enough either.
Sharing a
those things were packed in
can of fruit
in
cocktail.
India.
Well, it's
I
in
grew up on
America
this
now.
shit.
The expiration, I can see the expiration says 2012 on that one.
I'm going to start
That
doing
is
this with Vienna sausages.
perfect.
That
Ripe.
is not accurate.
It's false. You're lying.
I'm gonna have a hell of a time getting these peaches.
Yeah,
out of
my
this
fruit
can.
cocktail's not moving either. It's
I'm going to
kinda-
go get us some spoons.
Fork would be preferable.
I'll get you a fork.
He's really going. We'll keep this thing running. So yeah, fruit cocktail. I've been waiting for this all year. Joe and I, well, way back when you were like first on the podcast, we made that. Not joke. It was a peaches reference, canned peaches.
Yeah.
From when you and Boots were out in Wyoming, right?
No, that was.
Or was that a different
dude,
story? I'm
that
mixing them.
That was like me and him when everything happened with COVID and everything shut down. Tennessee, like I called a bunch of states and I was like, called Alabama and I was like, hey, I just not sure what's going on. Like, I'm from Pennsylvania looking to come down. They're like, yeah, if the state police see you on the highway, there's a good chance they're going to pull you over and send you home. And I was like, all right, that's kind of crazy. Called Tennessee and they were like, come on down. And yeah,
we'll take you.
Basically, it monsooned for 4 days and we got trapped back in on this public land because the creek rose like 3.5, 4 feet. We took my old CRV there and we were running out of food. So we were eating tuna and canned peaches.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good thing, buddy.
Hey,
I'm a fan. Look at this cherry.
That's the
on top.
story. Dude, the cherry in those.
that was
my
one of
favorite
like
part.
the hardest, toughest trips ever. Never heard a turkey gobble. Saw one turkey in like 6 days. I think about that trip all the time.
Yeah, dude.
All the time.
Why not?
And so does we talk about it all the time.
Lives rent-free in your head.
Oh, it was so great. Yeah, it was awesome.
Have you killed a Tennessee bird yet?
I did. I
Nice.
went back and got vengeance
Cibelli.
in a completely different area.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You want a hit of this?
You sure you don't want to hit it?
I don't want any of your stupid canned corn.
I got a can of corn in there. I'll go get it for you.
Can of corn.
I'm going to sprinkle it on myself.
I got tuna too. If you want some tuna.
Thank you for the fork.
Yeah. So, anyways, this is long coming because we typically share our canned fruit in camp, and we did not do it this year.
No, it was
Even though I made
really
multiple
weird.
references for it.
Really, really weird this year.
Yeah.
Like I felt like we were there together, but like didn't even see each other.
It was kind of weird.
It was very strange.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. I don't know why that is either. Because I do know why. We were there for a short period of time, and we were trying to get as much intel as possible.
Yeah.
That's why.
So even when we were done hunting, we were on the road.
Yeah,
Yeah. Split, meeting back at camp, trying to get some sleep.
there was a lot of trying to figure that place out. New spot.
Yeah.
The problem is there were a lot of areas to cover as well.
Yeah.
So it was
not
like
enough time. And,
Yeah.
And not the turkeys did not cooperate. Didn't make it any easier.
they sure didn't. Well, I don't even think we had very good conditions, did we? It was windy.
It was windy.
It was windy.
Yeah.
That first day was pretty rough. I remember
Same with the second day was a little better.
second day was a lot better, but first day was real rough. Even in the evenings, like you're trying to roost a bird or strike something up just to find where they're at because you can only hunt till noon there, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, that is correct. Noon, not 1 o'clock. Noon. Missouri was 1 o'clock. They are noon. We are noon. It's so weird trying to keep up. West Virginia's 1 o'clock.
West Virginia's one of. Is it?
Yeah. It's 1 o'clock, but you have to
Yeah.
be out
You
of
have to
the
be out of
woods
the woods.
Out of the woods.
Yeah, right.
or gun in.
I wouldn't know this year.
Wow. You should have went.
No.
It was stupid not going.
No, it was the correct decision. It worked out.
No, you should have just went to a different place.
Nah.
I hate you.
Nah, that sounds dumb.
Did you have the license or no?
No, I didn't get the
No, you
license.
didn't
at
buy the
all.
license.
No. I mean,
Well,
you might
then-
be able to trick me later on in the year to go down for deer at some point, but
Okay.
as of right now, yeah, it was the correct
Plenty of
decision.
deer. I don't know. I heard some people went down there and there were a lot of turkeys.
Yeah, I don't care about them. They're stupid.
Just kidding.
They probably died down there too. I'm going to be honest.
I actually heard the exact opposite.
Yeah, no, I know.
Same as everywhere else.
Everywhere, man.
Birds just not talking. Why
All-
can't I hear you?
Yes,
All right.
Surprise.
I'll move a little
No, I think
closer.
Costa might have to turn you up a
little bit
little.
closer.
Can he go up a little?
You got peaches and all the equipment.
No.
I can see peach
you
liquid
get some
dripping
sun
from his
today?
microphone.
Yeah, is it that bad?
Your neck's a little red, man.
Yeah, it was rough.
That's all right.
Yeah.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Hey, how was fishing today?
It was all right.
Loser.
We caught a couple right off the bat. My buddy, we've been taking bass fishing pretty seriously lately, and he's probably put a good amount of money on the front of his boat with like forward facing sonar, like some 360 type of sonar, like the whole spiel that you would see like on any sort of like high end bass boat nowadays. And it's fun. Don't get me wrong. And it's basically like you're fishing in a video game. You watch the fish come up and take your bait under the water. Like
That's
it's
pretty wild.
It's the newest of the new. But at the same time, it still doesn't help you catch the bass that you want unless you know how to use it. We're in the process of figuring that out right now.
That's what YouTube's for.
Yeah. I mean, you get stuck. Like you're looking at a fish and you're like, that's got to be a bass, right? Like we're in a spot where a bass would be. There's bait fish. There's what look like bluegill and crappie. That's got to be a bass. And you throw to a blob for, that you can see for an hour, just running baits past it, nothing moving. And then finally it sets in. You're like, well, you know what? That could be a catfish, I guess. I was like, there's no there's no definitive indication. It's just kind of like almost like a stigmatism on the screen of just like a blur of.
It's not an actual video game where it says the word.
Yeah,
the name
it doesn't
of the
actually
fish
have
above
like
it.
a name tag with like the fish's weight under it as you're
That's
casting things.
It's like Atari level graphics.
Yeah, honest to God, yeah. It's
I
like,
feel like you need to get better equipment then, because that's you're just not up to par.
it works. We just don't know how to use it properly. But we had fun. We caught a couple bass, nothing crazy, and it was gorgeous out.
Where'd you go?
We went to Moraine.
Nice.
Dead Sea.
The Dead Sea.
Yeah.
It is.
I've come to realize I think I like playing video games of fishing better than I actually like fishing.
Well, that's a terrible take. I'd probably say that's the worst
Some
thing
of-
I've ever heard.
Dude, sounds
Some of
very
those
honest
games-
to me.
Some of those games are pretty legit.
Yeah, they're stupid.
Do you
though.
remember the ones that were like, I think they were like an actual part of like a fishing pool with like a little screen?
Yeah.
on it.
Oh, yeah.
And you'd have to set the
Yep.
hook.
Oh, yeah,
dude. How freaking
So
awesome
much
were
fun.
those
No,
games?
it's nowhere near
Oh
real
my
fishing. But in any
God.
case,
Did they make one with the Wii, with the Wii controller? They have to,
Ooh,
right?
that'd be
Yeah.
How
fun.
much fun would that be? Like casting with the Wii controller and then like setting hook with it? Dude, I might have to get a Wii and a fishing game if that's a thing.
I don't like you.
Think how much easier it is. I never have to leave my house. I don't have to buy a license. I just fish all day.
The license is over.
Boy, is it.
God's sakes.
I'm not buying a trout stamp. And I'm not buying my
I gotta
Lake
hear
Erie
this
stamp.
now.
Nope.
This guy's
Just like
buying,
and I'm never buying a pheasant stamp
he's
either,
buying,
you son of a
he's
bitch.
buying $10 TSS
me
shells
get a
and he's
pheasant
complaining
stamp.
about a fishing license.
Every year he makes me get a freaking pheasant stamp. And we went out once.
Sir,
I go out.
Excuse me,
a
sir.
good bit.
Well, I never made you. I think I made you.
You always make me
once.
do it.
One time I made you get it, and then I asked you a bunch of times to go out, and you always had an excuse not to
The
go.
missed opportunity was that late season drop that they did, that bonus drop.
Yeah.
And I was out of town or something
Yeah, I
stupid.
was too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, it comes back to you.
Yeah, but
not me.
Like, I'd rather hunt real animals.
How dare you?
I
was
don't
with you
remember
when
getting a phone call.
Listen,
Because we didn't fucking go.
listen. I was with Chuck when he shot his first pheasant. That was last year, wasn't it?
That was
No,
2 years.
2 years ago. I found a bunch of turnips.
My one
too,
and
on the
only.
game land.
Found a bunch of turnips.
Yeah,
Weren't
shot
they
the-
turnips? I forget what they were.
Well, there was turnips and turnips and something else in the ground that they planted on the game lands.
Yeah, we were like on the way out, and I was like, Chuck, I just stepped on something purple. I was like, what is this?
Yeah, they had like a giant food plot there.
It was just, they were just everywhere. I was just picking them out. I was like, all right, cool, free, I guess.
Did you eat any?
No, I threw them out.
Nah, we
Yeah.
didn't eat them, but we fed the deer or something.
Yeah.
We made a little medley
Turnips.
and threw them.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
yeah.
turnips and I want to say radishes, but I don't think they were radishes.
No, I think we Googled what a
Parsley.
radish
Googled it.
was.
I like radishes a lot.
I don't know what it was.
Yeah, in any case, but yeah,
Nice late season blend though, but they were all on the ground still. Deer, nothing ate them yet.
That's because there were no deer there.
There's deer there,
Yo, there's definitely.
tasted
There's
like
definitely
ass.
deer there. Or that.
Yeah, I was already out hunting, and Chuck was like, "Yeah, I just got to the game lands. Where are you?" And I told him, and he's walking to me, and pow, you hear a shot. I'm like, "Oh yeah, here he comes!" Then I see his dog just running, like he was running in like a really ragged, like semicircular pattern. He looked confused, and I was like, "Well, maybe he's not." Pow! I hear another shot, and I go over there, and I was like, "Oh, did he flush it?" He goes, "No, I just saw it running on the ground. I shot it, and then it
Yeah, I don't care.
it got tangled."
Ground pound.
Oh,
He's like, it got tangled in some stuff, so I shot it again. And meanwhile, his dog's just trying. The dog was trying to get away
Go
from
up and
Chuck.
wring him neck, man.
No, it was, dude. I couldn't even get to him. It took me like 10 minutes to get to this bird. He was in the middle of this giant, like.
It's like a Three Stooges skit, like where it was at, like trying
It's
to
hard
get
to
to it, running in
explain
the circle.
how I even got BBs through this stuff to kill it in the first place.
Wow.
That's what it was up inside. So like there was no flushing it. There was none of that. Like, he couldn't get
another
out of
one.
it. Yeah, I mean, I would like to go. I was
real
just,
one.
I was actually talking to a long time buddy of mine that he's super into it now, I guess. But
There's very little flushing around here. It's just
they're pretty stupid. And
It's called wing shooting for a reason, bro.
well,
we
I
could
shot
do
him in the wing on the ground.
we've gone a couple times where like you get to the top of a hill or to this field, and then like as you step out into it, you just look right, you look left, and there's just pheasants sitting there going, what are we gonna do? And then you're like, shit, do I shoot them?
And they run away.
Yeah, and then they just little cockroaches.
It's a
in the
lot
weeds.
easier with dogs to flush them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, for sure.
I'm
Not stupid
not
dogs.
gonna hunt them
Oh,
without
whoa,
dogs.
don't talk about your dog like that.
My dog's stupid.
Whoa. His
I'll
dog
tell you what, though, I
successfully
saw-
flushed mice.
Yeah, I saw a mole at the house the other day. I was
I'd
like,
like-
oh man, if my dog was here right now. Although he did kill an entire litter of baby rabbits.
I'd
and
like
my
to
wife
see
was in tears.
Anybody else's dog
Murdered them
flush
all.
mice
And caught it
and caught it.
midair.
That's pretty wild.
Dude, he went sideways after this
Now
thing.
keep in mind, this dog's eyes are going both different directions.
That's true.
Listen, they are not.
Yes,
First off,
so-
he's not Carl.
So
Okay, and second off, he flushed your pheasant.
no, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, that was that other gentleman's dog.
No, he was nowhere near us. Remember, his dog came over and tried to eat you and the
Yeah,
bird.
some
wow.
random,
was
some
an
random
asshole.
guy's dog was just running amok.
Just an
and-
asshole dog. Like,
sh- a sh-
100 mile an hour, not listening at all. Like, you better be careful. My dog's aggressive. Then put him on something if he's aggressive. Don't let him just come running after
Yeah, I
us.
just shot
Like,
the pheasant out of the air.
I
and
got my dog too. Like, I don't want my dog attacked by your stupid dog.
I'm walking towards the pheasant because I saw where it went down, and the guy, you could hear him yelling, "Hey, if he goes for the pheasant, let him have it." And I turned around, and I look at
No.
Chuck, and I was like, do I gotta shoot this guy's dog? I was like, that's gonna suck.
Listen, right before this happened, though, Jackson was legitimately like snorting and snarling, like in after something in this high grass. Like, and I'm just standing there like, it's a mouse, right? That's my thought. It's a mouse. Like, he's probably just sniffing a mouse. So I'm like, all right, let him just do his thing for a second. I took like one step towards him, and between the two of us, there was a pheasant. straight to Cibelli, and he shot him out of here and killed him.
That's wild.
So Jackson
Yeah, I
flushed him.
did. Yeah, I did because I'm the best.
All right. Anyways, we're getting off that talk. So back to turkey. This is the season recap turkey podcast officially. We haven't had one of these. The last podcast we had was at camp, at turkey
That's
camp.
true. This is
We had a great time at turkey camp, mind you, and I'll just recap that super quick as a whole. We ended up killing three birds. Three birds. Three birds. Three birds. Three birds.
three birds and a mess.
Three birds and a mist.
And
Yes.
a close call.
And a close call.
I'm sure there were several close calls.
Oh yeah.
Which was huge success. Huge success. I think we can all agree on that. It was
was
a ton
great.
of fun.
Huge success.
Joe had a good time. I can tell you that much. I got some pictures and videos of you in rare form, Joe. When Booer's around,
Depends who you talk to.
when Booer's around, you got to watch out, man.
Oh, the wizard.
The
Yeah,
wizard's
yeah.
always there. It's funny because
He arrives precisely when he means to.
that's right.
He's neither early nor late.
That's right. So we killed 3 birds and we had a miss, but overall, I mean, with the weather, that Saturday weather was terrible.
Yeah, until like 11
It
o'clock.
was windy, as graphic.
Super,
and, yeah,
super
and
windy.
me and you are already deaf. We couldn't hear shit.
I didn't hear or see a
Dynamic
turkey.
duo.
Oh, buddy. We had fun.
Oh, we
best
had a
is-
great time.
The best is when you're with someone like that and like a woodpecker or something goes off. Like, did you hear that? Yeah, it was a woodpecker. Oh, you sure? Pretty sure. I mean, I'm not the greatest at hearing, but I'm pretty sure it was a woodpecker. I heard a woodpecker. And then something else would go off. Did you hear that? Yeah. What was it?
I think this guy's schizophrenic.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. It wasn't gobble though. Like, I'm pretty good with gobbles, but I don't.
Yeah, somehow we can pick that. I can pick that out.
Right?
Like, I'm
It's-
deaf as shit 90% of the time, but I can make that sound out.
I can hear perfectly fine.
Yeah,
We both heard it.
He's got.
did.
He's got hearing aids.
We both looked at each other. And we heard them. We're like, and it was really windy and it was far off. And
Yeah.
it was like the very back end of a gobble.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And we both looked at each other like,
Was that what we think that was?
that didn't sound.
Let's go this way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe went not that much. Maybe
And then you start
60?
hammering. Probably.
Maybe hung out there for maybe 5 minutes.
We like got almost on the other side of that ridge.
Maybe we walked a little farther. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
How did you? Oh wait, never mind. I know how you guys came into that property, that parking lot way in the back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, funny enough, Adam lives there. He didn't know that existed.
Oh, really?
I
Look at Onyx, baby.
He didn't even listen. He would not. I had to bring him there to convince him it was there. He's like, no, I've been back there a million times. He said, there's no parking lot back there. It stops on private. I was like, no, it doesn't.
You got to drive past those signs.
You gotta have the plums to keep driving.
You sure
That's
do.
right.
And at the back, there's all those game commission,
Yep.
public land signs.
legal.
Yep. It's legal.
I found it because I was on the other side where he accesses from. And I'm like, why would anybody walk in from over here? It's a nightmare. It's straight down and
way-
straight up the other side.
Way too far.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that's insane. And you're talking one little pull off,
Yeah.
you know, and it looks thick. Didn't even look open. Like if it was that same kind of
We
brushy
go
stuff.
back there again. I'm going there.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. We're going in there again. I
Yeah.
want retribution.
Well,
I think that spot is like if you look at it on the map, it looks nice. But when you get back in there, you're like, oh, this is not a turkey
It looks
spot.
terrible.
Yeah, it really does.
And it kind of is terrible.
It kind of is, yeah.
There's like nowhere really good to set up there. It would be tough.
Well, I'll tell you,
It would be tough.
I'll tell you that same exact habitat. We killed 2 birds on Monday out of that exact same stuff. High grass, brushy, low trees, like those
all pines.
pines and
Or
what are
maybe
those?
it's just we're not
autumn
used,
olives
we're
or
not
whatever.
used to it looking like that. You know,
These
what
are
I
from
mean?
that
Right.
top. I picked them off of trees on the
Did
top.
you?
Yeah.
Dude, there
Good
had to
looking
be
pine cones.
There happens to be 2 of them.
1, 2. Oh,
You're more
guess
than
I'm out.
welcome.
No, I just mean like our memory will forever be.
It's a pair.
It's true.
It's a circle.
It's inside a circle right
Yeah,
now.
it is.
Chuck knows a thing or two about
Shut
putting
up.
people inside circles.
Anyways, so yeah, that was awesome. Saturday kind of sucked. You guys had a good time. I think a lot of people had a good time.
Oh, we had a blasty blast, dude.
Overall, the camp was great. Trivia night was a freaking blast. I wish we had more people there.
Yeah, I
'cause
wish I could've
it was
stayed.
it was actually a lot of fun. Like the guys loved it too.
Yeah, they had a blast.
They were a little reserved about it first, and they were like, I think every single one of them at one point during trivia was like, dude, this is actually a lot of fun.
yeah.
You know, but it was good. We put a lot of work into it too, so made it pretty cool. But Monday was the day. We killed, man. We killed all 3 on Monday.
I was at work and it was just like turkey,
Me too.
turkey, turkey, Mr. Turkey. I was like, what is happening right now?
Yeah. Like we got that permission for the one piece because we saw 2 longbeards walking up the road or walking up a field off the edge of the road, and I was like, we got to make this happen, and we did. We got permission. Went in there with Sean. The Toms I never even saw them. They dropped down onto the other piece that we didn't have permission on, and the Jakes came in. Boy from Florida was there, smacked one first thing in the morning. We were all high-fiving, trying to give Booer my gun because there's literally another Jake standing 30 yards away staring at us the whole time, and he's over there just celebrating. I'm like, Booer! Like, we had a plan, and everything went out the window the minute the gun went off. Like, he just totally blacked out. But it was cool.
That sounds about right.
There's actually a video of that hunt on the Northern Outcast Outdoors
I watched
YouTube
it.
channel. Yeah.
I watched it. Well done, Booer.
It is good. There's also another video coming out that we will probably drop on our YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah.
It's more or less a promo video, if you will. Just kind of a highlight video of the camp itself and kind of the whole background of the whitetail distraction and how it all kind of came together. It's pretty good too. Good production
sweet.
video.
Yeah.
You put it out already?
No,
Or you're going to?
No, we're going to. We
All right.
we actually watched Cibelli, Booer, and Kenny. Yeah, we all watched it the other night at my house as like a little preview.
Preview action.
Yeah.
I have it on my phone. I should just play it right now.
No, you shouldn't.
It's
Although
only
it is
9 minutes.
It is 9 minutes and it's mostly audio, to be
Yeah.
honest. I mean, there's some really good cinematic video in there, some killer shots. The
Yeah,
drone shots are just sick.
Super cool.
So maybe we can let you watch it, Joe. So you
I'll
can
let
be
him
cool
watch
too.
it.
I can wait.
Okay.
I like surprises.
It'll be worth the wait.
Okay.
I don't feel left out.
So that video will come out. And again, we killed that morning. J-Bo ended up killing next, I believe.
Yep.
And then Nathan missed one. I called in 3 longbeards, and we didn't really realize that Nathan had his own equipment, and I didn't ask him what he was using. He had a shorter barrel shotgun. I don't know what it was. I mean, I don't think it was the problem, but he was using like nitros or something along those lines, like the Walmart special. Again, they've killed turkeys for a long time.
I killed my first turkey with a nitro.
Yeah, but at 50 yards, it's probably not the
That's a poke.
probably not what you want to be using. And it was some miscommunication, some I think just some factors that he was brand new. This would have been his first turkey ever.
Yeah.
So like he's new to it, but he even knew. He was like, I felt like it was too long and I shouldn't have taken the shot. But like Adam was kind of chirping at him like, hey, you got to shoot on them now because they're leaving, kind of thing. Adam thought they were 35 yards. Like that was the biggest issue is we didn't have. I mean, it was wide open, tall grass.
Yeah.
Like there weren't really good landmarks to say, okay, that, and they didn't have a rangefinder. I had a rangefinder, but I was back behind them calling.
Yeah.
That adds a whole nother level of stress, especially for your first turkey.
Oh, yeah.
Like I
it's
know
not
most
right in your
people shoot
face.
their first turkey with someone else, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? But like you're already nervous enough, and then not that anything's wrong with someone saying like, "Hey, they're about to boogie out here. You got to take the shot," but like that's just another, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Oh, it's added.
breaks your focus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In
Added
my opinion,
pressure.
at least.
I mean-
Yeah, definitely added pressure.
Booer still blames me for the one he missed up my camp because I was chirping him. But in my defense,
Yeah, I don't like it.
in my defense,
like when people
I'm
do it.
sitting to his right and I had a wide open shot and thinking, why is he not shot at this bird yet? And they were legitimately leaving and he took a
I've
pretty
seen the
dumb
video.
shot. Yeah,
It's Chuck's fault.
Everybody's done
What?
it. Everybody's been there at some point.
Oh yeah.
It's not my fault. I told him to crawl up on the other side. He sat behind a giant cedar. And the birds came out exactly on the other side of that cedar. I told him to crawl in front
Oh,
of.
yeah, I heard before.
Yeah. They were at 12 yards. Those birds should have died.
That's pretty cool.
It was really, really close. Those were the hardest drumming birds that we ever hunted up there. I knew they were the same pair from the year before because they drummed. They would literally almost like shake the earth. It was just like,
That's pretty good, actually.
yeah,
That is
like
not
that's
bad.
exactly what
not
it was
bad.
like for that. And it was, you could hear them from forever away, and they just come right in, just drumming the whole time.
Best sound.
Yeah, and we never killed them. They got the way.
Yeah. That
They
happens.
live to play another day.
They're going to rendezvous up with that one that survived this year that got away.
I think they all got killed by fisher cats.
Oh, no.
They weren't there last year. I didn't hunt there this year, so I don't know.
They're there.
They might be dead.
Yeah, you didn't hunt your camp, did you?
I did not. It was very
wow.
depressing.
Yeah.
It's
Very
upsetting.
depressing.
It upset me.
I know.
I don't know if I'll forgive you.
I wouldn't. I don't deserve it.
All right, good. I'm going to hold on to that for a while.
So either way, Nathan missed that bird, and later on, and that. So what was really crazy about this whole story is that Nathan shoots at this turkey and it flies away, and the other two run. I never saw any. I saw the one fly. Never saw any of the other birds. So we kind of walked up there just to make sure he missed. He's like, "Yeah, I definitely missed. Like the one I shot at's the one that flew away." We're like, "Oh, okay, we didn't know that. You know, it's tall grass. It's who knows." And I'm talking tall grass. Like that shit was tall. Mm-hmm. It was knee high tall grass.
Yeah, always look shorter too, getting into it.
Right. And the birds were all in there. So as we were calling those three, and there was two more up on the hillside gobbling the whole time, like working across this ridge on the neighbor's property, kind of coming towards us. And I was like, okay, well, hey, maybe. So we were standing there, and I'm like, well, what do you want to do? Those two birds are gobbling. He just missed this one. I'm like, I don't know. Here, let me call. I called the two birds that was with that one, hammer at 60 yards. They were standing right there the whole time. They ran off, stopped, and as soon as I called, they gobbled again. I'm like, are you kidding me? This is outrageous.
Dude,
Well,
you never know sometimes.
you just never know.
You don't.
Well, here we start talking to them, and they're calling, they're coming in, and the two up there light up again, and then one behind us starts gobbling, and then the one he missed starts gobbling down where he just flew to. He starts gobbling. So we had 6 birds gobbling at the same time.
That's
We're
unreal.
Yeah, we're just surrounded.
Wow.
So finally, and it just so happened to be the one time the bird behind me gobbled that I kind of like leaned forward just to turn my shoulders and kind of see what was over there and how it looked. Those two birds that were with the one he missed were coming in quiet to our left. The other two guys never saw him, but I saw their heads poke up. Last second, as I like turned, they caught me. Heads popped up, and I'm like, Adam, hard left. He's probably, because Adam and they're probably 20 yards in front of me. I'm like, hard left. And I see him swing, and he never saw him. Their heads went down, and they were gone.
Oh yeah. Like
So-
little velociraptors in the grass.
Yep, exactly. And that's all. That's all.
Stay
So-
out of the tall grass.
So we ended up making a move towards those two on the hillside, and the one that he missed gobbled the entire day until we left. I mean, he gobbled and gobbled and gobbled, but he never moved. He stayed in the same spot.
Wow.
Well, then here,
That makes sense.
yeah, I mean, he wasn't coming back. So then this bird from across the street comes and he starts breaking. After we made the move, after the ones up on the hillside to our right, the one from behind us starts coming in. So we kind of put Nathan back over there, and Adam was going to set up. And I was like, no, please come to me, because I can already see it now. If you're not sitting with me, I don't have a gun. I just have the camera. I'm like, the birds are going to come straight to me, and no one's going to be able to shoot them. So he sat with me, and sure as shit, that one that was coming up must have stopped, hung up. I don't know. Maybe he saw us at some point, but he shut up. And the two up on the hill, they gobbled. And then the next time they answer me, they're like at 100. I'm like, these birds are coming. 100%. We've gotten right on the property boundary at this point to where I think we've broke enough distance. They're coming. And sure as shit, I'm sitting there and I look up and here's boobies flopping and that big white crown just coming right at us, dude, straight down the hill. No one else sees them. Nathan is sitting 15 yards to my left, facing the opposite direction, basically. Like he would be facing, let's just say, north. And the birds are coming in directly to the east. And they're coming right down his, like if he just turned his head,
Yeah.
He could have killed him 100 times. They were in the wide open. He had no clue. Well, here, Adam can't see him because he's sitting to my right, probably like 5 feet. And there's a little play in just a ditch, basically. And I'm like, Adam, left, hard left. They're coming in straight down the gun barrel. He's like, I don't see him. How the hell doesn't he see these birds? I mean, like, this is low grass, like wide open low grass. They're coming straight in down through it. Finally, they get to like 12 yards. Yes. Yeah. And between, like, when I first saw them, they were coming down off the hill, and then they went into that dip. I lost them, and then
they crested,
and they popped back up out. They were at 12 yards, and I'm like, hard left, 12 yards. And he pulls and sees one's head poke up and blasted it. Scared the absolute piss out of Nathan.
I bet.
So he like jumps out of his skin and turns and looks. Here the birds were like 10 yards from him the whole time. He had no clue. Well, not maybe a little farther, maybe 20-ish from him because the angle.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's basically we made a triangle between us and the bird. And the second one, there was 2 of them. Second one goes running off through this little thick area, and he pulled his gun up and just couldn't get it up on him quick enough to get a shot. But
Bummer, dude.
could have almost doubled. Been freaking phenomenal.
That is wild.
It was a great end to the trip. I mean, that was pretty much it for the excitement. I think Boer had a close call after that the next day. I was with Adam. We actually had a bird at like 40 yards. Never saw him. I heard 8 turkeys gobble that morning on the limb.
That's pretty wild.
Tuesday morning.
That's a great morning.
Yeah. Crispy, cold.
I
think it was
have
like
one
30
morning
degrees. That was the only one for me. I had 8 different turkeys we counted. You could hear, and we were up on a big hillside, like up on a knob. We could hear everything.
That's wild.
You guys got some better weather a couple of days.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Calm, cold, crispy morning.
Yeah, it got
perfect.
much better.
Just it's
Perfect.
what you want to ask for.
Yeah.
Dude, when we walked out that first morning, I was like, it's just going to be so tough today, man.
Oh, yeah.
It was
When we were the
howling.
last ones walking out that morning, but it was still early.
Everybody was gone. We're like
Yeah.
eating breakfast burritos. And like, hey, bro, we
It
were
was-
like, you want to go? Let's have another burrito.
I regret not getting more breakfast burritos. I ate a bunch of them.
Just call that low. That's just wisdom.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what that is.
Right.
You know what I mean? We got plenty of time.
Oh, yeah.
I think most of it too was like some of the guys, they had to drive. Like some of the roads were pretty rough.
I was
you know.
being,
I know.
sarcastic. Yeah, we totally were just
You're
like
being
bumming
facetious.
it. Yeah, we were totally bumming it.
I honestly, in those conditions, I wish I'd done the same because I didn't see it or hear a turkey the whole day. It made no sense. Tried to use Onyx to get to our spot. Yeah, there was a gated road.
We did until 30 minutes for the day.
Right.
Oh, man. But it was a good trip. And if anybody wants to join us next year, you just have to join the Patreon and come hang out with us. It was great. We had great food.
Fantastic
The whole time.
food, yeah.
The gobbler cobbler was absolutely smacking. We ate that the entire trip.
It's really
yeah.
good if you mix with corn.
Mashed potatoes.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I feel like this is just all lies.
You
and
sure there
guys,
was no corn in there?
Oh, there was some corn.
All right.
I feel like you guys were just eating these cans of just.
No, negative.
No.
I think that's
Negative.
what you did
why
the whole time.
cans
This is
are
all
here.
lies.
The canned fruit is here because we did not eat it at the other 2 hunts that we shared.
All right.
Oh,
We
dude,
broke
we were
tradition.
eating deer meat and mashed potatoes. And
Yeah. Gobbler cobbler and the
Gobbler
mashed
cobbler.
potatoes.
Burritos.
We had
kinds of stuff.
turkey.
Pizzas.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, homemade
Adam
homemade-
fired up the old wood-fired pizza oven.
Yeah.
bastards! I didn't
Yeah, it was fantastic.
We,
Well,
we
it does
ate
sound
good.
good.
We ate good.
I guess you should have came.
Yeah. We made a tater tot loaf.
I did hear about that.
It was the greatest thing ever, dude. So we get back. It was
I don't
just,
know how I feel about this right now.
dude, I'm telling you right now, this was the greatest mistake ever made. Booer and I got back way before everyone else. We scouted. We found a bunch of turkeys. It was when we got permission. This was Sunday night. And we didn't know how to turn anything on. We didn't know how to use anything. But there was a flat top, basically, like Blackstone.
Like a griddle.
No, griddle.
Yeah.
There was a giant commercial one there. And I was like, well, I know how to turn this one on. So we get it fired up. And we were cooking I was cooking the turkey on there.
Yeah.
Well, we had frozen tater tots that needed to go somewhere. He's like, just throw them on there, cook them on the other side. I was like, okay, sure. So I start cooking them on there. Well, then Adam shows up. He's like, why didn't you use the deep fryer? We're like, oh shit, I don't know. I mean, we had to turn a breaker on and everything else. I didn't know. So he gets there and he turns the deep fryer on. So now we're scooping them off and we're putting them into the baskets.
Jesus.
Boer's mistake here. Again, great mistake. He thought because the light wasn't on, because there was only one light, but there was 2 sides of this thing. He thought it was up to, it was heated up and ready to go. So he dips it in basically cold oil. And now all the tater tots have just like shrunken down in these baskets, and they're all just filling the basket up at the bottom. So we're like, screw it. We let it get to heat, dumped it in, deep fried it. It came out as a giant tater tot loaf. The same size and shape as the basket. This thing was so phenomenally good. It was crispy. It had great flavor. Because I mean,
It's like a giant hash brown.
it was a giant hash brown, is what it was.
That's
and
hilarious.
we were mixing it in.
Who doesn't love that?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, we were throwing it in on the turkey tacos.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh,
Wow.
gorgeous. Tater loaf.
It probably took
Sounds
6
great.
years off your lives,
yeah.
and you just
I
don't
don't
realize
care.
it yet.
I don't care.
We went to Adam sent me a Snapchat tonight. He was at Broken Arrow.
Yeah, I got
That
the
place
same
that we
one.
went.
Oh,
Did he
yeah.
send you the pie?
Where Chuck got
Yeah,
the pie.
he got the pie too. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are assholes.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I had a burger that
What
was like
about
the
it?
size of my head.
Joe calls me out middle of dinner, lunch, or whatever we were eating.
It was lunch.
You were like, I think you got the worst meal here of all of us. And you know what, Joe? I think you were right.
What did you get?
Spaghetti looked terrible.
You got spaghetti?
I got chicken parm.
Is that what it was?
Who got
but it had-
spaghetti?
Chicken
it came
parm
with
on-
spaghetti.
it was on
Yeah,
spaghetti.
It came with spaghetti. Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it to be already cut up.
What kind of restaurant was this?
Yeah, it was good. The food was
good.
great.
It was a
like,
good restaurant.
It was a good little bodunk restaurant in the middle of nowhere.
Listen, don't bring my people's cuisine into this unless it's.
Listen, we had
My people
great
too. That's
yeah.
why I'm allowed to critique it.
We had
Alright,
great service.
just-
Okay.
Everybody just take it easy here.
We had great service.
Okay.
But here, Boer being Boer. Now, you know, Cibelli, firsthand, that Boer coming into this trip had signed a treaty and he had signed a contract in blood.
I don't know
And there were
about
stipulations.
I don't know about signing, but I know there was some verbal
was a
recognition.
verbal
Yeah,
agreement.
there was some
He wasn't going to wear his helmet.
correct.
He wasn't going to take his shirt off or I had to yell at him. He did both of those things at the same time. He had the helmet on and his shirt off walking around camp.
I feel like no matter even if you have it in writing or not of a no shirt clause, I feel like that's
gonna
that's
happen.
going to be broke. Yeah, that's
The
just
next
like,
morning, I get up and I look over the banister. He's just walking around in his fucking skivvies, just through the place like he owns it.
That's like that story of being mad at the scorpion for stinging the frog. Like it's his nature, man. He just
Well,
gotta.
And there were more stipulations. He broke contract. I paid him for that contract.
Wow.
In whiskey.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, good bourbon.
There was an actual
was
transference of wealth for this.
Yes, this was a legitimate contract. This would hold in court.
I mean, there might be some liability here. We can
Yeah.
look into this.
Yeah, I might have to hire an attorney at law to sue him for his actions
I'd
at that
hope,
trip.
I'd hope they were at law. If you find an attorney just
well, there's always
not practicing.
I always see this attorney at law, every sign. Anyways, yeah, Boer tried to sabotage me from the beginning on that
That's
trip.
messed up, man.
It was fun.
Dude, there's a giant stem in here.
Ugh.
Look at that.
Munch
That's a
it.
pear stem.
That is a pear stem. Oh yeah, baby.
Oh, you're
would've killed me.
disgusting. It's still gonna.
Get out of here, bro.
Anyways, let's flip the,
Oh,
flip
sorry.
the gear here.
Oh, yeah.
Cibelli,
Yes.
you had a great year, man.
I did.
Why don't you talk about it a little bit?
Oh man, I'd like to preface it by saying it's all due to the fact that I didn't hunt West Virginia.
Oh my God,
No.
stop it.
Put
That's
that
not-
cookie down!
I will not.
No!
So going into this
not true.
season, both I and our other buddy Joe Seaburn decided that we would swear off hunting. What? There's a
Is
ghost.
he locked out?
He shouldn't be, is he?
Yeah, he accidentally locked the handle.
This guy just ruining everything.
Go ahead. Keep going.
Anyways, so Joe Seaburn and I decided that we would not hunt West Virginia this year because we figured from last year and even the year previous to that, we spent so much time hunting West Virginia that we almost felt kind of burnt out once PA season kicked in. Because there were too many nights where we were going down, too many mornings too. We were going down there, spending the whole day there on Sundays because, you can hunt down there then. And then by the time PA kicked in, we were so demoralized and depressed from frickin' West Virginia that we were just like, well, whatever. So I swore it off this year and I killed 2 birds. So I was quite pleased with that. I shot my first longbeard.
You really think that had anything to do with it?
No, but I also don't like West Virginia, so I'm just
Okay.
going to throw that out.
Just
What's wrong
making
with
sure.
West Virginia?
Yeah, it's West
Full of
Virginia.
turkeys
And
deer.
Yeah, well, the deer for sure. Yes,
Full of deer.
Yeah, there's tons of deer. You
My
can't
God.
spit without
Yeah.
it landing on a deer. I've
Until
tried.
you go
I've
hunting a
tried.
deer there, and then we can't kill them.
Yeah, and then we don't kill them, but that makes sense. But yeah, so I ended up shooting a long beard, and I got that bonus tag for the first time ever.
Yeah.
So I got 2 birds this year, and it was weird because I did
Congrats.
it in a little over a week.
Yeah.
So-
Early.
So I was like done sitting around going,
All right, hold
well,
on.
this
Let me
is
back
dumb.
you up. Let
How
me back-
early? When did you?
Oh, no, I'm going to back him up.
Oh,
You got to talk about your opening day. So Cibelli's got this permission piece that he's
I finally asked
hunted,
for
what, 2
permission.
years?
Yeah,
is your second
Yeah,
year.
this is the second year on it.
Yep. And you had these birds. Like you and I had scouted this place early. February, I think. Was it February we were in there?
So
we found this
so
bird?
this year, once again, also Chuck kind of pushed me to make sure that I did more scouting this year, which I did. I made sure I went out there at least a dozen more times than I did last year.
Yeah.
In morning, afternoon, evening, trying to do a little, planning, plotting of where these birds are, because I know they're out there. This place has a ton of deer and a ton of turkey. So there's multiple properties that he owns that are not only attached near each other, but there's one or two that are kind of, about 10, 15 minutes out from the rest of his fields. And we heard birds everywhere.
Everywhere.
I mean, they were coming from all different fields, all different directions. I knew they were there. And so I figured I was going to be in and around them, and I was going to try to heavy hunt his properties at least for the first week before, like we normally do, go to a bunch of public spots just to run around and act like idiots.
Mm-hmm. Well, it just so happened, right before season started, that this guy's like, oh, by the way, you can only hunt here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. When you told me that, I'm like, but that was the best place we scouted. Yeah. In my opinion, when I saw it and we saw birds there, that was the best place.
I had planned on hunting opening day the same field that I had hunted there the previous year, where I saw birds, and I know that there's birds running around. But he ended up reaching out, it wasn't real late in this, the game, just coming up on the season. But he gave me enough time to say, hey, this field, and, this. I had 4 fields mapped out on where I planned on going, just in case something like this would happen. And he basically was like, yeah, this one and this one, I have people in, that's not going to work. He's like, you can, this other one that you planned on going to, you can definitely go there. And luckily enough for me, that was literally, if, I didn't ask how anybody else did there, but I can't see it getting better than the field that I was in. Because what ended up happening was the field that I hunted opening day, the night prior, I saw 15 to 20 turkeys in this field.
Oh, wow.
It was loaded.
And it was cool for the fact that this last year too, for archery, that I'd actually put in time for archery, I got to see the rut for the first time ever, see deer acting ways that I never see them do in rifle when they're, running for their lives. So I got to see a group of jakes just kind of piss-potting around and a dominant male bird kind of walking the perimeter of them. I got to see a satellite tom that was definitely beat to hell, way far away from them, with another jake that looked like he had been beaten up too, just hanging out because they got chased away, and then seeing, hens doing what hens do. But it was cool to see that many birds in an area that wasn't too crazy big, but it was big enough that I thought myself I wasn't gonna have any issues killing birds there. So opening day comes. I did what they definitely told me to make sure I roosted the previous night, and I did.
Yep,
and
he did.
I knew the area that they, roughly the tree line that they had flown up in. So I had gone out. I borrowed Chuck's.
Thank you.
But yeah,
Don't miss that part.
I wanted to make sure I gave you your due. I borrowed his blind because I'd never really blind hunted. I don't really even like blind hunting all that much. I'd rather, especially turkey hunting, sit up against a tree or dig yourself in somewhere.
Situational.
Yeah. So I
It
mean,
sounds like this guy tried to garroll you and it backfired.
no.
Oh, the other guy.
Yeah.
The other guy. Yeah. I was going to say me.
No, not Chuck.
I was Team Cibelli.
No, not you.
But also it rained that day, which the blind was kind of nice.
It was prime being in the
Yeah.
blind. So I mean, I crept up to about 75 yards ish of where I thought where the birds were in this tree line, and I set up the blind. It's literally in a cut field, there's no grass in it. You would see a giant blind sitting there. There's no way you'd miss it. I set up the blind. I get in it. Sun comes up. Not really hearing much. And the same thing had been the other couple times we went and scouted the area. You really didn't hear much in the morning. They gobbled for a 5-minute window, and then that was it. Then they shut up.
Yeah, they
those
got
couple
down with
times.
pens,
Yeah,
and they
those
just
couple
kind
times that we went, that's all they did.
Yeah, they did their thing.
So I wasn't, too scared that I didn't hear anything. Then all of a sudden, just 15 birds just fly down right into the field, maybe 75, 80 yards away from me. And I also this year decided to use some decoys. So I had, I think like a quarter strut Jake, and I don't even remember if I had a hen out or not, but sitting there and I'm like, they're just come down. They all look calm. They're just starting to feed and they're coming directly towards me in my setup. And I'm like, oh, done deal. I'm getting it done early, opening day. I'm going to send them all photos and just laugh.
He's already ordering his breakfast.
Oh yeah. I'm just thinking, you know what? I probably could get that skillet today. That does sound pretty good. They start making their way towards me. And all of a sudden, within they were like that 5 to 10 yard distance of like where you start to question whether or not it's going to be a little bit too far of a shot to take. And I have the gun up on the edge of the blind. Boom! Shotgun goes off. I jerk, and I'm like, what just happened? I was like, did I accidentally pull the trigger? Like, what did something happen here? Birds kind of all just are in front of me in my field of view, are just kind of hanging out. Nothing flew. They didn't run. 2 seconds later, boom! And then all of a sudden, all the birds start pushing away from me. And I'm looking, because the way the windows I had set up was facing a different direction from where the shots rang out. I see all the birds, and then I see still 2 or 3 longbeards kind of in range. But in my mind, I'm like, I have got the little tiny chuck on my one shoulder going, shoot, you dummy. Just send it. It's TSS. Just fire it. Because they were like.
I don't do that.
Yeah, he does exactly that. I lasered one of them and he was like 60 yards. And I was like, I'm not going to do it.
That's a poke.
That's a poke.
That's a poke.
So I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm just going to let them go. So they all wander off. And now I'm just like pissed because I know there's other hunters around me here. So I'm like trying to quick zip one of these little side windows down. And I'm like sticking my head out, looking, trying to see. And I could kind of see a bird flopping around. Well, I see 2 guys just walk out of the tree line and they go over and they both pick up birds and they're smiling at each other. And I just, I get up, I get out, storm over to them, and I'm like, do you guys have permission to be here? And they look at me and they're like, oh yeah, we got permission to be here. So I call the owner and he says yeah. And then I texted him later and I was like, hey man,
thought that was my field.
Right.
You told me to go to other fields. Once again, it didn't end up mattering in the long haul. I ended up shooting 2 more birds out of that same field. But,
I ruined the ending.
I got, what are you going to do? I like to circle back. It's going to be like one of those movies where it kind of goes back and forth. Yeah. It's like a Christopher Nolan type of story.
Give him time.
Okay.
But yeah, so 2 guys shot 2 of those birds. 2 of the jakes, they were little tiny guys.
Yeah.
They were the smallest of jakes. Had happened to just see one of their decoys and just kind of moved down the tree line that I never saw, and they popped both of them.
I don't know if I would have went back there.
Well, what was even worse is they walked. I sent them videos. The guys even walked out, not chasing the birds, but they walked out the same direction that the birds went.
Through the woods.
Yeah, through the woods. They just walked out the same way.
They didn't give a shit.
And I was, I sat there and I stuck it out for another, till noon. And I ended up actually hearing another group of gobblers that kind of made their way towards me, but never gave me anything to shoot at. And left there kind of pissed. It is what it is.
He was infuriated. Don't let him lie to you. He was texting me, I'm selling my shotgun. I'm ripping up my license.
Let's not get
I'm
too
never turkey
crazy.
hunting again.
I yelled at some.
Yeah, he's like, I probably shouldn't have. He's like, I probably shouldn't have charged him with a loaded gun.
Yeah, I did kind of have my shotgun up in the air. But anyways, for legal reasons, that's all hearsay. So I ended up, going back.
Well, listen, before that, we were talking about it, though. We were breaking it down. I'm like, this could be the best thing that could have happened for him. Because, one, those guys probably tagged out. They're done for the year. And they shot 2 little jakes.
Yeah.
They didn't shoot any of the longbeards.
No.
You're still got all these turkeys there. They're going to settle down and come back into that field eventually.
Yeah.
Put in the time, scout them in the evening,
days,
roost them again, and just get right back in
Was
there.
that early in the season?
This was opening day.
That was opening day.
Oh yeah, plenty.
So
of
I'm
time.
like, you got all
Yeah.
year, dude.
So, it wasn't more than 3 days later, I think, that I went back the night prior that I was going to go, just getting eyes on the field. And same thing. I saw there was a bunch of hens. There was 3 longbeards, a couple jakes. They were still kind of in that same setup that they were originally. There was one longbeard kind of by himself, and then the other ones kind of intermingled back and forth. But the entire time, they worked their way all around this field, back and forth. And then I ended up just roosting that. I decided that I was going to roost the one longbeard that was by himself. He went into the woods completely different than all the other birds.
That was a good call.
And I figured that I'm still new to hunting. This is my 4th or 5th year, but I still suck. So I wanted to make sure I had the least amount of eyes in the woods on me to be able to at least have a good chance of shooting this bird. So I saw where he went in and said, all right, that's where I'm going to go in the morning. So I go in the morning, didn't bring the blind this time, figuring I would just set up on the tree line and just wait for him to come in the field like they had the previous couple days. Well, I was sitting there and the sun started to come up, heard him gobble. He was like maybe like 150, 200 yards into the tree line. And I'm watching the edge of the tree line, just sitting there waiting, nothing, quiet, nothing happening. And it was one of those moments like where you're sitting in the woods and you feel like something's either off or looking at you. And I just did one of those, like, I slowly turned my head and I'm just slowly going to the right. And there's just a hen like 10 yards from me, never heard her. And it's just funny to just watch an animal that's staring at you like, what are you doing? Like, I can, like,
why are you here?
Yeah, you shouldn't be here. But not only that, but like, I can very easily see you. And I'm like, well, yeah, this probably isn't the best setup for what I'm doing right now. But luckily for me, she just started like kind of yelping a little bit. Like, she didn't run off, didn't make a huge ruckus or anything. She just sat, like, she just kind of walked back and forth within like 5 feet of where I initially saw her, just kind of, yelping a little bit, making some random noises. And I was like, well, I might as well try something here because the jig's already up. None of the other birds were gobbling or anything. So I figured maybe I had a little time. So I'm in clear view of her. She knows I'm there. I just take out, and I also can't use a mouth call because I'm a child. So I just pulled out my pot call and I'm just sitting there and I'm just trying to mimic, almost like not battle her, but at least kind of try to match her
Just
energy
mock her,
of
yeah.
like trying to see if I could get her riled up. Wouldn't you know it? I started doing that for maybe like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. My man in the tree, bah! And I was like, ooh, all right. This could still work. I could still hear the other birds where they had gone into the tree line, like maybe like 200 yards further down where I was at. They were still kind of talking a little bit, but my man was all by himself.
He was still in the tree.
Yeah, he was still in the tree.
All the
There
other birds
were
were on
no
the
other
ground.
jakes. There was nothing else. Some of those other birds were on the ground, and I could still hear one in the tree. But so I'm sitting there and I'm just battling this hen. She wouldn't leave. Just sat there, just absolutely hollering at me. Tom, finally, I could hear him with the level change. He gobbled, and then like 20 seconds later, he was lower. So I was like, all right, he's down. Perfect. At this point now, I'm like, all right, I got to scare this hen out of here. Screw this hen. So I kind of like half shimmied up, like getting up, like I was going to like run at her or something. She finally took the hint and just walked off. So I'm like, all right, perfect. Hen's gone. No more eyes on me. The bird thinks that there's hens over here just fighting each other or doing something crazy. My man, hammers. Chuck over here teaching me some very nice soft call techniques. I'm just giving some nice little purrs and some little quick yelps just to set the mood, set the tone. My man comes in. He's like, oh yeah, the real
Whispering
kind
sweet
of
nothings.
kind of a sensual situation in the woods, I will say. A little closer, about 50, 60 yards closer. Then I finally shut up, sitting there, kind of decided that where I was originally sitting, now that the sun came up, was probably not the best with my silhouette, with how I was leaning up against kind of like a down tree that had some roots out of the ground. So I kind of shimmied and kind of took like a little fetal position up against where I was initially sitting, and just had the gun pointed right at the opening in the tree line where I thought he was going to step out at. And sure enough, sat there quiet, heard a little bit of one of those little twig breaks, and my man went, "What's up? Is there you girls still here?" And I see this head kind of peek out into the field, and I shot him from maybe 15 yards, 16 yards. He came out like way closer than I thought he would.
I guess it was that thick that early in the season.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
greened up pretty quick.
Yeah.
All the
Dude.
rain. So
Yeah, so I mean, my man came out of a spot where it was dense enough that the only way he was going to see me was going to be too late.
Right.
So the second I saw him pop out, I was like, "Yeah, God, you're gone." So it was a good time.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. I really appreciate it.
First
I mean, it was
long beard.
fun. It was a good experience. I'm happy I got it done early in the season, because then I felt like a huge weight lifted off me. Like I felt like I could just go out and, I wasn't like going to necessarily shoot the first thing I saw and just go out.
Not
and,
as
and
tense.
it was so much different, because last year I didn't shoot one. And leading up to the very last day when I was up with Chuck at his camp, I was just like sitting there up against the tree going, this is the worst thing.
Give it time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I ended up getting that long beard, and then it only took like 2-3 days. I went back to the same field with one of our other buddies, set up the blind roughly in the same spot, because I'd seen some more birds in the area and kind of just gambled because I didn't go the night prior to see them go up in a tree. Set up, picture perfect. They flew down in the morning, nobody gobbled, and it just happened to be a bunch of the jakes. The other two longbeards, I don't know if somebody shot them or if they just went off somewhere else. Jakes flew down, came over, kicked the shit out of my buddy's decoy. I mean, it was awesome to see them just literally, one came down, saw that he didn't have any of his Jake buddies with him, saw our Jake decoy and kind of got
a little nervous.
spooked.
Yeah.
Ran back to the tree line, came back with his two buddies, and then they all puffed up and just ran straight at the decoy and
so
just
fun
beat
when
the
they do
shit
that,
out of it.
man.
It was so much fun to see because I'd never seen that before.
Oh, yeah.
And the other hens were just at the tree line going, "What are you guys doing? That's so stupid."
It was stupid because they got shot.
Yeah,
for it.
yeah. And then I just picked the biggest one out. My buddy was like, "Are you going to shoot a Jake?" I was like, "Well, yeah, I got the long beard done." I was like, "Whatever, I'm just going to finish the season." And it was a nice sized Jake. I just picked the one that had the biggest that I could tell beard and was acting the most aggressive. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to take you out."
Yeah, the one that would have been an absolute stud next year.
Yeah,
Let's just kill him.
yeah, no, he's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's toast.
Just eliminate him
Yep,
from
yep,
the
he's dead.
population.
Yep, he's dead. He's gone. His genes are gone. Chuck cooked him up for him. He was very, very good. Chuck is very excellent
Second-
at the
second one was a lot better after.
hibachi style
Yeah.
turkey.
Yeah, man.
So
Told
that-
you got to cut them up first and then marinate them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So much better.
Oh, yeah.
I tried leaving him just whole the first one, and
It didn't.
It was still
take as
good.
well. It was
Like, it was
good. I'm not gonna,
delicious.
it wasn't my best, but it was good.
You know what? I hold you to high standards. It was,
You
it was pretty
can
good.
get away with it if you get like a jacquard, like a meat tenderizer, and just poke some holes in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it that way. Just so it can permeate
Yeah,
a
we
little
didn't do that.
We
We
didn't
just
do
we
any of
just
that
chucked
shit.
them on. Yeah, it was pretty kind of savage. But yeah, I mean that was the season. It was over quick, and I went out with Chuck and one or two of our other buddies some other random days just to get some time in the woods. But I felt weird. It was odd being done
Yeah.
from the previous year of grinding every morning to try to get a bird and then not getting it. And then being
Enjoy
done,
it.
and then being done in the first week. Yeah, I know.
I know
Listen.
that feeling.
Listen.
That was me this year.
Yeah.
Basically. But that's okay.
That was the Cibelli trials and tribulations of 2025.
Good season, man. I'll cheers
Thanks,
down.
bud.
that.
Hey,
I'll cheers. Little
thanks.
drink.
Yeah.
Congratulations
Yeah.
on your first turkey.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Congrats, brother.
Yes,
Your
yeah,
first
yeah.
long beard.
Yeah, first long beard.
Yeah,
yes,
and first turkey. All right, Joe. We're to you now, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
You got probably one of the wildest seasons of any of us here, I think.
Joe, look at me.
I mean, now granted,
He's the captain now.
you didn't have any turkeys get chased by a horse this year.
What?
So I got you there.
No, I did not. No.
Well, then did you really hunt that?
Yeah, he didn't. Not Horsefield.
Just some humans.
just some humans.
Just some humans.
Humans. Those humans.
Minor details. I'm screwing up some things.
Hey,
Oh man.
So-
You have some
Anyways.
turkey Karens.
Yeah, I guess we'll get to that.
Let's get to it, man. Where'd you start your season off at?
I started in Iowa. And
right.
it started great. Could not have started any better. Couldn't have ended any better. But the in between was pure misery.
Wait,
Shouldn't-
it
I mean,
was
but-
misery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
I see what you did there. That's pretty good.
So
Pardon me.
sorry. Pardon me.
It's all
You
that
guys are struggling.
It's all that
I had a
tetanus. from that-
Allergies? Like, what's going
terrible
on?
allergies tonight,
yeah.
dude. Yeah.
It's horrible.
So first trip was Iowa. I was out for a week-long swing. The plan was Iowa, Missouri, and Kansas. That was the trip. So started in Iowa, got there Friday evening, super windy, didn't hear any birds, tried to roost some. So is what it is, no big deal. To be honest, it's obviously an advantage to roost birds, but I to be quite honest, I tend to enjoy just going out in the woods and starting fresh in the morning and seeing what's thrown at me and go from there. Because if I know where one's at, I'm going to overthink it all damn.
Oh yeah.
That's just, but anyway, I just always find myself in the most insane positions, dude, possible. So it's the first day of the season, opening morning, I'm creeping into my spot. I get set up. I'm like, okay, I feel like this would be a decent area. Don't hear anything. Kind of looking at my setup, and I'm like, you know what? I think I want to try to get to this other tree. So I was in a little bit of a dip. I'm like, I need to get a little bit higher just so I can hear a little bit better. Working my way to that tree, turkey gobbles to my left. Couldn't have been more than 65, 70 yards to my left down into this bottom. But he had to be almost eye level with me. I was on the edge of a field, and he was down in this dip, but he definitely could see the field. So I immediately dropped down, and I'm like, here we go. It's the first day of the season. I find myself squatted down on a field edge, and it's breaking light. I'm like, how the hell does this happen? So ditch my vest, and there's this, not a very big size tree, but it was the only cover I had. So I ditched my vest, kind of crawl to that, and just sit there for a minute, hoping he gobbles again to know that I didn't get picked off. He gobbled. Like, oh God, thank God.
That's such a relief when they gobble that.
How
next
did
time.
this happen?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
He was texting.
I made it to this point. Okay, I'm good. So not really wanting to call because he's not very far and he can see the edge of the field and he could probably see the tree that I was leaning against. So didn't want to really call that close to a turkey. Most of the time when I've done that before, they'll just hang up in the tree because, well, I hear you, but it doesn't make any damn sense. So he's up there gobbling once again, maybe 10 minutes pass, he hits it again, and then he flies down. I'm like, okay. So I make a couple soft yelps. And at this point, I'm like, I got to stand up. This tree for cover. I cannot sit down because I can't see. It was too thick and he was down over the roll. So I stand up and kind of looking in that direction. And next thing I know, I just hear him drum. And I look to the left. He's probably at like 35, maybe 38, pushing 40. Coming up a spine on this ridge, and I see his head pop up right out of the brush. Just sitting there drumming, quarter strut. He pops his head up, and I shot him. It was like not even 7 o'clock.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He was on the ground for like 2 minutes. And I'm
First
like,
hunt of the year.
First hunt of the year. I'm like, holy shit, here we go.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, I really needed that.
Let's go.
I'm like, thank God. Little did I know what was.
It only goes down from there. I mean, it has to.
It goes down, then it goes up, and then it goes down for
roller
quite some
coaster, my
time.
friend.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster, man. It really is. So I was like, hell yeah, this is insane. I can't believe it. I'm like, get picked off, basically. I thought at least walking, you know. I was there. It's not like I was coming in late at first light, but I was just trying to make one more move to get a little bit higher, and it just so happened he gobbled, and I was, you know, crouched down.
You were
kinda
in
walking.
range already.
Yeah, in range already. And honestly, where I was at was initially, after I looked at it from where he flew down and everything, I was like, man, this actually was probably a good spot. But if he popped up, he would have been at like 15.
Oh,
So
that's close.
that's too tight.
Yeah.
That's way too tight. So it just was a huge blessing. Somehow I pulled it off. I didn't pull off shit. It was luck, honestly. But so that was Iowa. And I was like, all right, sweet. I didn't plan on getting to Missouri till Tuesday, maybe after opening day. I'm like, I'm going to get there a day early. Get to Missouri was probably hour and a half drive. I hunted northeast, started in northeast Missouri, was there for 2.5 days. It was super windy and it poured down rain. It poured the whole week before I got there, and it poured while I was there. All the fields, I mean, were holding water.
Drenched.
Yeah.
Holding water. And you couldn't walk through the fields. And I'm like, the turkeys are not coming out, period.
Yeah.
I didn't see one turkey. They couldn't. They would have
drowned.
They would have drowned, or they just would have got stuck. So I was
this
like,
is not Florida.
yeah. And I was in the timber too, because I'm like, there's no way in hell this is going to happen in these fields. But got down those bottoms, but still, just opening day in Missouri, the first 2.5 days, I didn't hear a turkey gobble.
Ugh.
It was tough. Didn't find much sign at all. So I was paid to hunt some property in like that area, northeast Missouri, and that guy that I had paid to hunt these private farms, he had some places down in southwest. So I was like, well, this has been rough. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna drive 3 hours. That makes a big difference sometimes. You know what I mean? How turkeys are
Huge
acting.
difference.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
huge
Think
difference.
about like where we hunt here and then drive 2 hours to where we were at camp.
Exactly.
Big difference.
Oh,
Big
yeah.
difference. I'm like, okay,
Huge
I'm
difference.
gonna mix it up. So I go down to southwest Missouri, and same shit for 2 days. I did hear some turkeys gobble there, but they were across the creek on a different property that I couldn't hunt. But it was the same deal in most places. I mean, once I hit the ground, that was it. I mean, you might have got some gobbling till 7:30, push until 8. That was it, which is fine. It's not like I haven't killed a turkey. They're not gobbling, and
It's not as fun.
it's a different style of hunting. Yeah, you got to gear down, and you kind of got to deer hunt them, and you got to set up on them. And I did that too, but it just, nothing was working. They just weren't interested. And come to find out, a lot of guys I talked to were dealing with the same thing all across the country at that same time. I had some buddies in Tennessee, and they were dealing with, it was just a really odd, that mid-April was very quiet in the
the
Midwest.
Florida guys were,
In the
were
Midwest
dealing with
to
it too, man.
Yeah, from Midwest to East, the Easterns were not feeling it. Out West is a different, you know. But so at that point, it's Wednesday. I've hunted in Missouri for 3 days, 3.5 days, and I'm like, okay, I'm pulling the plug. I'm gonna go to Kansas first morning, get in on this property, and I get set up, and it just never fails. I get set up, and it just starts cracking light, and my stomach just kills. Bad things are happening, dude. I mean, like, I don't care how early I get up. I don't care how early I eat to try to plan to Mother Nature to take course before it breaks light. It's just not going to go that way.
Yeah.
It's just going to happen. Yeah, like my stomach wakes up when it starts breaking light.
There's nothing natural about what Chuck does in the woods.
Oh, no. So I'm doing my business, and I'm like, okay, it is what it is. I can't wait. Bird fire's off.
Shock gobbles.
Yeah, so I'm like, shock gobbles. I'm like slightly downhill, and there's like a bench above me, And on the other side of that is some hardwoods, and it drops off again. So I'm on the back side of that roll because I was trying to listen down to some ridges to the left of it. And this turkey fires off, and I'm like, oh, all right, well, it's thick enough, and there's enough cover. I can finish what's going on here. and then we'll start this. You know what I mean? So I do that. I'm talking to this bird. We're going back and forth. He's gobbling. He's not that far. So once again, even though it was thick, he was over that roll. So I wasn't so worried about calling to him to where he could see the tree because I knew he was over on the back side of that hill. Back and forth, back and forth. He finally flies down. Once he hits the ground, he stops gobbling, but it's drumming hard because he's in range. There was a wall of a thicket between us. He couldn't have been more. He was probably 65 yards from where I was at. He's drumming. I hear a hen to my left start yelping, and she's working up the logging road towards him. And I'm, okay, well, this isn't great. I mean, if she cuts in there and then they're going to go do their thing, you know what I mean? I could try to make a move and get around him. So here comes the hen. She comes walking right past in front of me and starts cutting in towards that tom. And then 3 fans come right behind her over the crest. And at this point, once again, I'm standing up because I'm like, I can't sit down. He's already over the roll. I'm on the backside. I can't really make a move now he's on the ground. So just the way the terrain laid out, if I would have tried to push forward, he was close enough to where my head might have been above the brush behind. You know what I mean? So I know that's a lot of thinking. It's very analytical in the moment. Yeah. There's a lot of decisions that need to be made. So I hung tight. The hen comes up. Here comes 3 fans. And they're, stupid tight together. I'm like, I can't shoot these birds. I'm waiting for them to break apart. They're not. And they keep walking a little bit farther right. And here comes a 4th bird behind them. I called, he craned up, busted him. It was like 20 yards. And that was Kansas. And at that point still, that was like, couldn't have been 7:15.
It was early.
It was another early one. Yep. So I'm like, oh, thank God. Missouri was rough for 3.5 days. Just turkey hunting, up and down is what it is. Wouldn't want it any other way. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not fun when you go out there and kill them every time. That's not really hunting. So
it's not fun.
It's not fun, but if you did it every single year, you wouldn't appreciate anything. Just like anything else in life.
And I think we said it already. Like that trip that you had to Tennessee, like how much that lives rent free in your head, that trip. You guys didn't kill shit. I know.
We didn't come close.
Some of my best turkey hunts in my life, we didn't kill anything.
Yeah, right.
The most memorable ones.
Yeah, and those are the ones you learn from. That's what helps you grow down the road.
Yeah. Those are the ones that keep you coming back.
When you just show up and bust one, how much are you really going to learn from that?
You would get tired of it.
How much are you going to really learn from that?
Not only that, I would get tired of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although there was that one year, I think I went out like 6 or 7 times in a row and someone killed a bird every time. I was like, dude, this is insane. We can't miss right now.
I mean,
that was a lot of fun because I knew what was coming.
I think that's the difference. The first year I went hunting?
Yes.
You just got to enjoy it while it's happening and know that, hey, this is a rarity.
Yeah. It was Oklahoma. We killed 4 that day. And then Pennsylvania was like it was Boer, me, you, and then
I forget who else, but I remember this.
Birdman.
Yeah.
Same spot you killed yours.
Yeah.
These were all hunts consecutively in a row.
This was like peak Chuck.
5. Yeah, this is 5 hunts in a row that we killed turkeys, and I'm like, dude, this is fucking awesome.
I'm not going to say that it happened, but Chuck was walking around strutting a little bit during that year. He strutted a little bit. As a human strut, it was kind of weird.
It was more drumming probably happening. I was drumming.
That might have been your stomach. I was hearing in the morning.
Yeah, that was a great year, but I understand what you're saying. I'm obviously just giving you a hard time.
Oh, I know. I've had some years where the last few years, phenomenal. But
it's like I told you, man, you put tokens in to the machine. Sometimes you win a prize. Sometimes you just got to wait and keep those tokens. I'm hoping all the tokens I put in Pennsylvania this year and just kept wasting my money putting those tokens in the machine. Hopefully next year,
there's no wasting.
Cash out.
That's an investment.
Investing, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I invested my tokens.
That's an investment right there.
And they're sitting there. They're gaining interest for next year. They're gaining interest, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like in the Hogwarts. What was that giant goblin bank? Gringotts.
Yeah, dude.
I've put the tokens in Gringotts.
Fucking dorks.
It's the first thing that came to mind, dude. What do you want me to say?
What a terrible back-to-back analogy.
Don't hate.
I thought it was pretty good. Turkeys, goblins, they're pretty close. Turkeys do gobble. They do be gobbling.
Oh, they do be gobbling.
Oh, a t-shirt in the works?
Maybe.
T-shirt in the works?
Yeah, I like that.
They do be goblin.
They
We'll
do
have a
be
little
goblin.
goblin with
Yeah.
like a fan behind him.
You guys do need
A
to get
goblin
some,
holding a turkey.
Yes.
I've come up with a couple
back,
of turkey shirts.
dude.
We've never made them.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
one, and
You have?
it was awesome.
We had
Oh,
some
yeah.
wild ones. Yeah.
I had some wild
We've never
ones.
made
It was-
any. We've never done any of
well,
those.
we'll
It
get
was
deer.
like two perfect turkey feet with like giant hooks,
be
giant
giving all
spurs
your-
on them, and it was just like. And if somebody wants to take this idea, they can have
Oh,
it.
no, this is a Patreon exclusive shirt.
And it just said, "Get hooked on turkeys, not drugs."
I do like that. That's a cool one. That's pretty sweet.
One was pretty direct. It was like, get hooked on turkeys, not heroin.
Listen, sometimes you got to be a little bit more succinct with your message. I mean, I understand.
Yeah. No, we had some designs we came up with, and they all flopped.
They all flopped. Yeah.
Until now.
Yeah. Well, if I could find someone that makes t-shirts, that'd be great. Actually, I do have someone, but regardless. So then you were coming back to Missouri because you had extra days. And
Yeah.
Well, initially
I
though,
was supposed to go to Oklahoma.
you're supposed to do Oklahoma.
And I was like, this is crazy. What the hell was I thinking? I'm
Yeah.
like, this doesn't make any damn sense. I'm going to drive 5 hours further west and then have to make like a 18-hour drive home in one day. I was like, I don't know what I was thinking when I planned this shit. So I was like, you know what? I canceled it. I'm going to go back to Missouri, drive farther east, be closer to home. So I ended up going to the area Chuck was in, and we never hooked up, but they kind of pointed me in the right direction, I guess.
The general direction.
Yeah, not really. Thanks, Ken. And
Don't do that to him.
and
Here's where we screwed
no,
up.
I have the mic now. What are you saying?
I was
You
going to
want me to take
say
care of this real quick?
no,
Okay,
no.
I got
Please.
you.
Hey, you shut your face. If we want to hear you talk, I will shove my arm up your ass and work your mouth like a puppet. You hear me? You hear me?
It's all good.
Cash bar.
Oh, it's good fun. I'm just joking.
I was going to say where we screwed up was not hunting together as teams because these birds were playing us. Like we were hunting birds on public at this point. And the first day before you'd gotten there, I killed one day. And
Yeah.
then
You
the
killed on the
next-
opener, right?
No,
Was it
we weren't there
Tuesday?
for the opener.
It was Tuesday then.
It was like Tuesday morning, yeah, something like that, or maybe Thursday. It was Thursday.
You went there. When did
We
you
left
drive there?
Wednesday.
Oh yeah, you drove.
We got there
Wednesday.
Thursday morning, killed on Thursday,
Okay. Yeah,
hunted
yeah, yeah.
Friday morning, and we should have killed again. I mean, it just the bird
That
circled us
happened
to
to you
the
guys
right.
a few times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Man,
then
that was tough there.
and and those birds roosted the same spot every time, every day. So it was like all we needed to do was call Joe up and say, Joe, go on this ridge. We're going to set up on this ridge. The bird's either going to go your way or it's going to come our way, and someone's going to shoot the damn thing. And I never
That didn't happen.
That never crossed my mind. It never crossed my mind. The area we were hunting had some hunting pressure.
man, my friend's in the same state, and we're both. I'm like, oh, this will be cool. At least we'll get to get some lunch or hook up or something. Then
Never
didn't see a fucking soul.
It's very disrespectful on Chuck's part.
I was at Ken's will first off.
I'm joking. I completely understand. You were having your turkey trip, and I was having my turkey trip. And
Yeah, I
that was
know,
not
but
the plan. Was not to
It wasn't.
sync up.
It was
anyway.
not.
So I get there, get to the campground on the national forest. That's all I'm going to say. And get set up, and I hear a turkey gobble. You got to be shitting me. Right behind where I parked my car.
Beautiful.
I'm like, this is great. And I'm like, there's other people in that campground. I'm assuming these guys are turkey hunting. They didn't seem to give a shit. And I know they had to hear it, but nobody looked. Nobody was, I could hear them, nothing. That bird gobbled for 2.5 hours. I'm like, they have to, but I'm like, I don't give a shit. I'm going after this bird in the morning.
to go.
Going after this bird in the morning. So get up early, start working that way. And I was probably within 150 of them when he started gobbling. And I ended up getting to about maybe 85 in gray light. Just where he was at, I'm like, I can keep moving. I'd work 30 yards, let him gobble, and kind of, read the terrain and be like, okay, I know where he's at. I can't see me working another 30. Same thing over and over. This bird hits the ground, and he gobbled great, but he was not. I noticed as I would call to him, he started drifting farther and farther away. And at this point, the season had been open for 4 days. It's Friday.
Yeah, it was Friday.
It was
now.
Friday.
Opened up on Monday.
Monday. So yeah.
Yep.
So season been open 4 days. I'm like, okay. I this dude's been dicked around with. So he flies down, goes down a crazy ass ravine all the way up on another ridge. I'm looking at my map, and he gets up onto this flat, big ridge at the end of the point, and he's just up there hammering. So I'm like, okay, just shut up. I loop around. I start making my way up there. Same thing, probably get to about 120 yards from him. And at this point, like there was no foliage on the trees there at that point in the season. I mean, that was the first week. It was
open.
Barren woods. Yeah. I'm on an open flat top with this bird. And we go back and forth for probably 30 minutes. Like he's answering me and I'm waiting, hoping he's going to break, and he just doesn't. So I advanced maybe like 30 yards, 40 yards. And like I said, it's wide open. So he's just gobbling, but he's straight down the ridge, but over the crest and the roll in the hill at the end of that point. So I'm sitting there and I hear calling to my right, and somebody's working their way up the ridge. So I start calling to them. Every time they would call, I would call, try blowing a crow call. I mean, if you've been turkey hunting long enough, you know the difference between, and I wasn't trying to do it well either.
Yeah.
Not that every turkey sounds like sometimes they sound shitty and it's a real turkey. You
know
what I mean? But I don't know. You know what I'm talking about.
At some point,
you can pick
you
up.
question.
You question it.
Is that another hunter? And when you hear the crow call, it's a dead giveaway. Okay, that's another hunter.
Right. And I didn't want to use my crow call.
Right.
But I pulled it out because
that's how you tell people. Like,
exactly.
Owl hoot or crow call.
This son of a bitch keeps getting closer and closer. So I'm like, you know what? Like, I don't have time for this. At this point, I'm like, he's going to bust this turkey. I'm like, I got to go. And this is a flat. It's wide open. And like I said, he's just over that roll in that elevation. I start crawling. I belly crawled probably about 85, 90 yards.
Wow.
Jesus.
On an open flat with no damn foliage whatsoever. And I got to about 15.
What?
Right. I got right to the base of that roll in that point. And as I'm crawling, I can hear this guy keep calling, and the turkey's answering him. He's getting closer and closer, and I would try to stop and hit a crow call or something, and he still just kept advancing. And I'm like, this is crazy. I'm literally like crawling to race towards this bird. So I get to that point, and like looking back, I should have tried to just stand up, but after you just crawled like 85 yards, you're kind of like, you know what, like all I need this bird to do, and I wasn't sitting. I was kind of like up on my knees a little bit. I'm like, all I need this bird to do is take a couple steps and pop his head over this slight roll. I mean, I'm talking, it had to be no more than 3 to 4 feet in elevation different. That was in between me and him that I was using to crawl. I'm like, I just need him to take a couple steps right or left of this roll because it broke on the left and the right side. He was just dead center at the highest point. I'm like, if he goes left or right 3-4 feet, I'm going to get a shot at this bird. I don't hear anything. He's dead quiet. He stops gobbling. And next thing I know, I just hear wings flying. And I'm like, oh my God, I just heard him fly off. I look down to my right and I see somebody walking, and they just like popped out of the woodline. And I'm like, you gotta freaking kidding me. Like, dude, I just did all this. And like, I've tried to let this guy know. Like, I mean, whatever, maybe he's your new hunter. You don't know.
And you killed him.
You can kind of tell the difference. You can tell the difference
Allegedly
between a turkey and a person. If you can't, then you haven't been doing it long. I mean, it might sound cocky. I'm not trying to be cocky whatsoever. You can tell the freaking difference. You can tell especially the difference in the response time to when you call. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
the
You
cadence.
know what I mean?
There's a lot of things
What's
that
natural?
give it away.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of things that give it away.
Now, granted, I will say there's a lot of times also I thought they were someone calling,
And it was a
turned
turkey.
out to be an actual turkey.
It is what it is. I'm probably just being an asshole and being pissed
Well,
off. But
but, like-
after struggling there for, at this point, you know, whatever, 3.5, 4
To
days.
your defense, your first thought should go to, hey, maybe that's another turkey hunter.
Well, I
You
mean,
know, and then play kind of reserve.
I don't
But there
know.
was enough signs. Like
It's
you
probably a dick thing to say, and I'm probably just a little sour about it. But
said. I don't know.
It's
anyway,
weird. You just took off your shirt too when you were saying that.
yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Definitely didn't do
Pounded
that.
his chest a little
And
bit.
so anyway, I ended up just like yelling down into the woods and screamed, "Thanks a lot," and just walked out of there. I'm like, I got to get out of here. I don't want to run into this guy. I don't, and I walked probably like maybe 80 yards over the hill and just like sat there. I was like, I got to take it. Like, I'm going to eat something. I got to drink some water. I got to calm down. You know what I mean? My hat's off. I'm fuming. You know what I mean?
Decompression.
Yeah, I'm calling my wife. I'm calling my brother. I got to talk to somebody. You know what I mean?
Talk me off a ledge.
And I hear this guy start owl hooting, and I'm like, you freaking this. Like, did you not even hear me yell at you? Like, what is this guy doing?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh God, I got to get the hell out of here.
That was basically me in West Virginia last year.
That was my Friday, and then I'm gonna wrap it up real quick from Missouri. 'Cause nothing else happens. I hunted a whole day on one ridge, really taking my time, working it up and down, setting up for 35, 40 minutes to an hour at each spot, all the way till, was it 1 o'clock?
1 o'clock.
On public. Didn't hear a bird. Anyway, so that was Missouri.
The funny part about that was that day you heard the bird.
Yeah,
on
I
private.
know what you're saying. Yeah, he was there in the evening because he finally decided after my ass left.
So, yeah, Joe hears
Yeah.
this bird all morning long
All
over
morning,
on private.
I'm working a bird on private, trying to get him to cross the road, and I knew that it was a matter of time. I'm like, whether it's before 1 or if it's 5 o'clock, this turkey is gonna be here at some point in the day. That's just what they do. It's just gonna be when he decides to do it. Well, when you have that deadline, is what it is. And Chuck texted me, he's like, "You're not gonna believe it, that turkey." I was like, "Yeah, well, no, I believe it. No, I believe it. It was just after 1 o'clock."
Well, it was funny because I'm like, wait, where are you, Joe? And he kind of I don't think you sent me a pin. I was like, private land.
I sent you a pin.
Yeah, you did. I was like, is it so-and-so? And you sent me a pin. I was like, oh, that's the private land where I shot my bird. That's where the turkey was. So
Right.
another bird had moved in to the spot where I'd killed mine. And he was on that side of the road. Well, the other side of the road's public.
Right.
That's where Joe was hunting. So like we go to the private that afternoon to hunt because you can hunt all day on private. And the bird's literally on the ridge that Joe hunted all day.
Yeah.
He's on the other side of the road, gobbling his face off. I think he gobbled 100 times that night going to roost. So we're like, all right, well, we know where this bird is for the
He
morning.
wasn't even gobbling. I bet he was just going, Joe,
He was,
Joe,
Joe, I'm over here, Joe.
I guarantee
You
you,
can't get
the
me.
birds that we were calling to when we got beat by the deadline at noon.
Yeah.
They ended up where we were at some point.
Oh,
I
guaranteed.
guarantee it,
Guaranteed.
man.
Yeah.
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 They
That's
found a
just
way
how it
around
works,
all
man.
that. And yeah, it is what it is. That's just a part of it. I mean,
And then an absolute torrential downpour came in, and we didn't hunt that morning, even though we probably should have. We went out later that morning, and the bird was nowhere to be found. Never heard him gobble. Never heard him. Beautiful over there, though. My God, was those ridges like I know exactly where you were because they're wide open.
oh, it was
And they go forever.
yeah. And I went to the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hunted the whole ridge system up and back all day.
Beautiful.
Taking my time. I was like just trying to gear down because it just, you were not able to force anything.
No.
There.
I will say that whole trip that we hunted the public when we were there, and it was probably 20 to 30 minutes from that spot to different public land that we hunted. Dude, the birds did exactly what you said. They gobbled all day long, and they just drifted. They would gobble and drift, gobble and drift. You would chase them, they gobble, they drift. And we ran into a guy from West Virginia, said the same thing. He said, he's like, I don't know what's up with these turkeys up here, man, but I'll tell you what, you call to them, and they just walk away from you.
It wasn't even just there.
There's no hens.
No.
They were just not
Tony
interested.
was telling me the same thing. He dealt with the same thing in Tennessee and West Virginia.
Yeah.
Same. They were not interested.
It was a struggle year, I'll tell you that.
It was a rough year.
All across the country.
Those PA birds, too, that we went after on public were kind of doing things.
Yeah.
I mean, you called, maneuvered on them, and whatever.
Yeah, maybe not today. They're like,
Well, it was another year that Chuck and I both just decided to just walk directly under turkeys.
oh yeah, literally.
We like to
literally.
we like to make it a point that every year, at least on 1 to 2 occasions, we walk within tickling toe distance of turkeys and
If
trees.
that turkey shit, it would have landed on my head.
Honestly, we were walking, getting to the spot we were planning on sitting at, and it was like out of a horror movie. There's very little light. I think you might have had that little tiny red light on.
No.
You didn't have it on at that
absolutely
point?
no lights.
Okay, so in any
We're
case,
walking in pitch black.
It's unbelievably dark, and it was like out of a horror movie where there was just enough moonlight where Chuck took a step in front of me and cracked a branch, and we both froze. And then all of a sudden, you could hear like a little bit of motion, and then just like
a branch fell.
a branch with leaves on it just goes, comes down through the canopy and just like hits him on his back and falls to the ground. And we both like
Slowly turn up.
just like slowly look up, and you just see bodies.
I'm like doing hand motions like. I'm just literally pointing up. Fuck. They're right above us.
Yeah.
So we walked like 30 yards, 40 yards, and sat down on the first tree we could come up to because we were on a logging road, walking in relatively quiet.
As quiet as you can be in almost pitch black.
Pitch black. I mean, you can't go in with lights at that point. Not on that property because you don't know what it's a whole ridge system, and they could literally roost anywhere. The whole thing's full of roosting trees, and they do. They roost all up and down that ridge. We got played pretty hard.
Yeah, I mean,
that
it was
bird
fun.
gobbled one time on the ground.
It was fun.
You watched them.
Well, what ended up happening is we were sitting in this spot for a while, and we had heard some hens, and we had seen one or two jakes kind of just like messing around in the tree line. And finally, after a while, we were like, you know what? Let's just get up and move to just some other spot. Maybe we can call out these birds from a different angle. We ended up not seeing any of the what we thought were longbeards or anything like that. We saw one or two jakes kind of push away from us. So we were like, all right. I go, Chuck, come on this side. Because we were you were facing a different side of the tree. I was on the other side facing where the birds ended up being, where we walked on. I said, hey, dude, just come on this side of the tree with me and we'll either sit here for a minute or push that direction. No sooner do I say that and Chuck starts to swing around the tree to me. It's one of those things where if you're looking at something long enough, you don't notice like a small chain. The exact area that I had been staring at 30 minutes, 40 minutes, all of a sudden had an extra log. And I was sitting there going, it just didn't process fast enough. I was like, where'd that extra like circular like log shape come from? And I'm sitting there and I can still hear Chuck kind of shimmying around the tree towards me. I reached down, grabbed up my little rangefinder, and I'm looking at it. I just see a turkey's ass. And I'm like, son of a bitch. I go, Chuck, definitely don't come here now. Just sit back down. I was like, there's literally a longbeard now just in full strut, like maybe 55 yards away-ish. I can see him through a little bit of stuff, but he's definitely clear as day now that I know what he is. I go, what do you want to do? And he's like, stare at him. I'll call, see what happens. And my man, for how long did we sit there?
I bet you for at least a half an hour he stayed there and just
half hour
in and out of strut.
He
in
went
the same
in and out
5
of
feet.
strut within like a 5-foot radius. And he was at a point where in the trees where I could only see him through a V in a tree that was like maybe 30 yards between us. And then a little bit of foliage. Like if I wanted to, I probably could have shot at him, but I would have needed V-shaped BBs to like continue through the path that was the only way to get to him. And forever he just sat there, or he just back and forth, strutted forever until he finally gave up and went into the field with these hens that we saw leave earlier. And I looked at Chuck, so we went to go towards the direction where he walked into the field at. And it was like every 15 yards.
We were just busting birds off.
There was still bird, and it was like, what time was that?
7:30.
It was like between 7:30 and 8. Another bird would fly off in this direction. Another in this direction.
One got stuck in the trees. It was hilarious.
Oh yeah,
he was
there's this
trying to
bird
fly
just
away, and he was like, and he's just flopping into the trees.
There's a lot of birds hanging up on late this year.
Also,
that happened to me a lot.
We basically figured that some of those were probably the birds that clear as day saw us like right below their feet.
Yeah, probably.
I kind of figured that's what kept them up in the tree because we walked underneath them and that cracked that twig.
That longbeard was literally just strutting there to those hens going, the fuck else you want me to do?
Yeah, like get down here.
Aren't you coming down here? Like,
but there were hens in the field. I watched that one fly down in the field.
There were hens both in the field and then
in the wood. There was
above us.
There's birds on the ground. We were watching work up and down the hill.
Yes.
So there was turkeys everywhere, and we probably busted 5 out of the tree
As we
even
were
after
leaving,
we saw 5 on the ground.
So my man was just confused. He was like, I'm giving you my best stuff.
Yeah.
Like for 25 minutes here, I'm just
strutting down here.
I'm giving you the full strut and you don't want any of this? Like, whatever. And so then he finally left and we could never get him back again. Chuck chased that same bird for a while.
All season.
Yeah, I was hoping he'd get him.
All season.
I
had him at 30 yards at one point.
We broke it down to
it's that one.
Yeah, but he was on private, unfortunately.
I was kind of the silent hand of this operation after he finally kind of was just strictly going after that bird. I would drive up and down the street and just give him like almost walkie-talkie-esque, like, all right, he's 40 yards from that other tree line. He's in a dip. You can't see him. And he's like, yeah, I lost sight of him. And I would just on the main road there. I wasn't doing anything I should be doing.
It honestly never worked out.
It never worked out. Not once.
Because anytime I told Cibelli to come just to see if the bird was still in the field or not, he's like, yeah, I don't see any turkeys in this field. I'm like, what do you mean you don't see the turkeys? He just walked right past me. I said, he was literally just walked right past me, all of them. I watched them walk right past
this private field
How is
had
there not
a
a turkey in the
ton
field?
of undulation to it, like little dips and like little channels that like fed to all of the tree lines that it butted up against on public. So I would be just getting off of work and I'd get a text message going, hey, and I'm like, I just got off work. What do you want? And he's like, hey, come drive by and tell me if you see where the turkeys are.
I need some eyes in this field, dude. I just need to know.
So it was like Call of Duty, like he's
like
calling
a
in a
true
kill
addict.
streak. Yeah, he's calling
am I wasting my time here or not?
He was calling in the UAV Cibelli. And
Yeah.
I would just come.
I was like, I got 3 kills. I need my UAV.
Yeah, I'd come in.
That's
I don't
kind
see
of a little bit
anything.
of a cheat code, man. You know what I mean?
The UAV?
I mean, when you're in the last week
You're
of the
not- I
season,
don't-
whatever
I mean-
whatever you want to call this.
UA Betty.
This shenanigans.
you shut up. You
If I would have killed one more, I would have got my UAV. I only killed 2 birds.
Yeah,
though.
that is true.
That was the problem. I meant to actually text you that this year. Like, come on, dude, I need my UAV.
Yeah, it just
And I was-
it didn't work out. I mean, I don't know where the bird ended up going, but
we weren't doing anything illegal, Joe.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, because
I didn't say
Keep
you were
your
doing
judgment
anything
to
illegal.
yourself,
There
Joe.
is some kind of rule or law, like you're not allowed to communicate.
Electronically,
Isn't there?
I think, or something like
almost
that.
like
then
It's some really
I use
stupid,
smoke signals.
weird
Like if
thing.
you're on a deer
Yeah.
drive, you can't say they're coming your way.
I don't know. It's
You're
I
not
don't
allowed
know
to
if
do
it's
that over like a radio. I know.
Yeah,
you're-
something like
Yeah.
that.
Well,
It's
for all legal
illegal.
purposes, I made owl noises.
I had to decipher a code.
Yeah, it was like owl Morse code where I was going.
But literally, the funniest part was like it never worked out to the point where there was actually turkeys in the field, and I got any kind of data from him.
Yeah,
to
it was
help me
just-
try to kill
I'm
these
just
birds.
busting your
I know,
balls.
but I'm
Yeah.
being honest. Like
Just bad timing.
it's just bad timing.
Because I would sit there and
Because I was literally hunting the bird for how long, and I'm like, Cibelli,
it was
I need
weeks,
you out
yeah.
here fucking now,
Well,
dude.
'cause
I'm
what
like
I'm-
screaming at him through
what
the phone.
ended up happening was the days that I would go out there, I actually, not that I became friends with them, but one of the other homeowners that lived on an adjacent property where I was pulled off at, I was kind of near one of their mailboxes. So I'm sitting there with binoculars.
Super creepy.
Yeah, just real creepy-esque, like just like half window down, just going, just looking out into this field trying to figure out where these birds are. And all of a sudden I hear, hey, you all right? And I went, "Ugh," and like, I almost dropped my binos like out of the car. And it was this nice old guy. And he's like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm just trying to find these turkeys in this field. My buddy's over in those trees on game lands, trying to shoot this bird. He's like, oh, no problem. I saw you from my dining room. He's like, we actually had a elderly gentleman have a heart attack and pull over in the same area you're in one time, like last year. So I'm just coming out to make sure you're okay. And I was like, oh yeah, no problem. And I ended up seeing them 1 or 2 other times whenever I went out there. And
Little
him and
did he know that I was the one having the heart attack, not you.
him and his wife would drive by me, like real cute old couple, and they'd wave at me and be like, did your friend get the turkey yet? And I'm like, no, he's still sitting over there in the freaking trees.
They didn't have to fucking rub it in.
Well,
Still being tortured.
they were nice.
Yeah.
They were nice, yeah. But
You should have asked him, can he come use your property to shoot
no,
this
you
turkey?
didn't. You didn't
Because it would
deserve
have
it.
happened.
No, you didn't.
It
deserve
would have happened.
No, I know you would have. You would have climbed down their chimney like Santa Claus to kill
Yes.
that turkey. So that's why I didn't force you on that. But
Fine, dude.
Yeah, it's
Whatever.
hilarious.
Some
That's
friend.
hilarious.
Anyways, that's pretty much it, huh? Pretty much the year for all of us. Mm-hmm. Oh, or is it, Joe?
I'm not going to talk for another hour. There's a lot. There's a lot that
Turkey
had
season
happened.
part 2.
We didn't cover Joe's Pennsylvania hunts or his New York
yeah,
hunts.
So killed.
He hunted
anyway,
too much.
Yeah. So
Give us a quick
must be
recap because
nice.
it's worth talking about.
Yeah, we hunted New York for 2 days together. I hunted 3 days. A day after you left, didn't hear anything. Didn't we hear any birds?
Dude, the
I
only
didn't hear
bird
it.
I saw and heard was the
Yeah,
one I shot.
I didn't
That's
hear
it.
I didn't hear a turkey.
It's the only bird.
It's a high
No,
fence
that's not
operation.
true. I heard one.
You heard one.
I heard one.
I didn't hear
Anyway.
shit.
That trip didn't kill anything. Didn't hear a whole lot. It was pretty tough hunting. So relocated a couple weeks later around Memorial Day, week leading up to it, and had a buddy who let me park at his camp and just camp out in my car, but use his driveway and, kind of use his camp as a home base. Ended up seeing some birds in a private field, stopped and knocked and got permission on private. Real nice older gentleman. And finally shot my New York bird.
Hell yeah.
The next morning.
Never
Yeah.
going back to that state ever again,
No,
dude.
I'll be back.
F New York.
No, I'll be back. But it's
I ain't going back.
It's gonna be a little bit of time. So
Yeah.
I finally got
20 years.
New York, and that was awesome. And the guy was a super nice guy, so I really appreciated it. It was good
kiss him?
good company. No,
Did you bring him a can of
thanks
your
for,
delicious
Thanks for being a child.
apple? Apple
Did you
delight?
Did you
No,
bring
we
him
didn't
fruit
share
cocktail?
any fruit cocktail together.
Well, it must not have been that nice of a guy. Then.
Maybe one day you'll be in that elite company.
Son of a
You
bitch.
jealous? Fuck.
Yeah, you're just jealous of
Whatever.
of a
Jealousy's a
65-cent
bad
can
look
of
at you.
fruit.
Whatever. You guys are
It's up
stupid.
to like 88 cents now, bud.
Oh yeah,
I didn't
No,
want any
inflation.
anyways.
So, shot that bird in New York. Decided to come. I hunted one more day, which we still have to talk about.
Fucking tariffs.
We still have to talk about my last day in New York, which that will not
Okay.
that will not be talked about on here. I didn't do anything illegal, but
Sure you didn't.
other people did.
Oh.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll talk about
I'll
that.
never be with them again. Let's say the least. Anyway, came home a day early after that shit show. I was like, I'm done here. I'm not hanging out here anymore. And Went to Old Faithful spot in Pennsylvania, shot a hammer of a bird on Memorial Day.
Nice.
Great hunt.
Really cool.
Super
bird.
cool.
Yeah, it was a really good bird. And it was just a crazy ass.
Chuck keeps me up to date on your hunts every once in a while. I'll be like, "Can he get in?" And he'll like just half turn his phone sideways, and I'll be like, "Ah!" It'll just be a photo of you just with a sprawled out bird.
So that was a really good one. And I was like completely content. I'm like, my season's great.
I'm pretty sure I was naked when you called me about that one.
Jesus.
Oh, you were at the beach.
I was on vacation.
Yeah.
What kind of beach were you at?
I was just gotten out of the shower, dude. It was early in the morning. Like, we just got up. It
was about
brother-in-law's.
It was a little after 9.
Yeah, it was later. You're right. It was later in the morning because
He's on that baby time.
Dude, yeah, it was. She woke up and freaking kept us up, and then finally fell back asleep. And I was like, I'm going to get a shower. And then you called me, and I was like, I know what this means.
Got to
Like,
answer this.
I got to answer it. I might have been naked. I was just shirtless.
Was it a FaceTime?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's always FaceTime. That's how I know.
Oh, I know.
I was like, I don't care. I'm answering it.
Try to wrap this up. All right. So,
They need to know.
yeah, killed that bird, which was awesome. Great hunt. And then I didn't go back out till the last day of the season. And I've always been wanting to try a different angle to get into this one spot. I've tried kind of the same thing for a couple years in a row, and it doesn't work. And I was just like, I'm done doing this shit. So I got permission, and I slipped around a different angle just to cut through a piece of private to get to private that I have.
Piece of candy.
So I get in there. And like, of course, this is just, the craziest way to end the season. It can't just be normal. I just always find myself in the crazy, just the way I hunt sometimes. I end up getting in a wild shit show of a position to kill a turkey. But anyway, so set up. I know these birds have been in there. Didn't hear anything. At this point, it's like 7:30, 7:45. And it's the last day of the season. It's breaking light at like 5:45 a.m. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm like, these birds should be on the ground. I haven't heard a gobble, but I know the birds are I know they're in this area. So I just pulled out my wing and beat it against a tree, smacked it into the field, into the grass, and a bird fires off and gobbles probably about 95 yards in front of me in the tree still. Okay, they're right where I thought they were going to. He's still on the limb. I mean, this is almost 2 hours of light.
We had that bad storm the day before.
We did, and it rained a lot, so I'm like, I was trying to be patient. I kind of figured that may have something
Everything
to do
was
with them.
wet and
everything was
gloomy.
very wet.
It was a weird day.
It was a very weird day. So my back is to a field, which I assumed that they were going to go out into because it was the only spot in the field where the grass was low at that point. Mm-hmm. Everything else was very high, and they were using it to come out. So I had my back to that, cutting it off. So I was just waiting. He was still in the tree. Anyway, I heard one bird gobble, good gobble, and back and forth. I'd be quiet, waiting for him to fly down, hoping he'll creep in. It's extremely thick in there. They only have about one. There's really not a lot of trees to even set up in. From where they roost, the best trees to set up on is basically right under. Tough.
I don't advise it.
Exactly. Exactly. So anyway,
bad thing to do.
It's probably been about an hour at that point of going back and forth. And I just I got to shut up because he's still staying on the limb. He's waiting for me to come to him. So it starts raining pretty hard. And I'm like, you know what? It's the last day of the season. I don't really care. I'm happy. I'm content. I don't care if I bust it. I start crawling. I'm like, I'm going to use this to my advantage. It's raining. It's loud. It's going to cover any sound I'm going to make, even though things are wet, weaving my way through. So I crawl about 65 yards and get right to the edge of where...
You're a crawler, man. I don't...
You can't sit there all day sometimes.
I know, I get it. But damn, dude, the crawling.
Yeah.
You do.
You're like a
that's
spider.
what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah. Joe the fucking spider.
I get to the edge of where the roll in the hill is, where he was roosted over it. And I get to my knees, kind of poke my head over, thinking I'm going to see a bird there. I don't. So I'm like, okay, maybe they're a little bit farther down the hill. So I just slowly start to rise up, and I look to my right, and there's a thicket to my right. And I see a bird moving to my right about 15 yards. I just see like wings moving through the brush, and I see the bird. And I'm like, of course, like the time I decide to break towards him, he finally starts breaking towards me. So he kind of sees me, and I kind of see him at the same time. And he kind of, but it's like I said, it's a thicket. So he kind of stops, cranes up, and I can basically just see from his neck up. So I stand up, kind of like halfway stood at that point, pull up and shoot, drop the bird. Two birds fly off. And I'm like, okay, well, I heard one longbeard gobbling. Two birds just flew off. What the hell just happened? So I get over there, and it's a jake, but it's a banded jake.
Yeah.
which, you know, I was
Pretty cool.
It was cool, but I was definitely bummed. Like, I didn't really want to shoot a Jake last day of the season. I shot one. I shot one in New York.
Kill them all.
And but it was pretty cool. So
Yeah.
I mean, I've never shot a banded bird. It wasn't intentional.
Right.
But-
Right. You didn't target the band.
Yeah, no, I didn't target the band. I don't. Can you even see? I mean, I guess you could if you were hunting a wide open field.
I've heard of people doing that out like in the Midwest.
I mean,
guess.
I don't know. That was
me neither.
that definitely didn't happen here. No, no.
but
That was me
I
belly
know
crawling in a downpour.
Yeah.
And
I know they banded a lot of turkeys in Pennsylvania over the last couple of years, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Our buddy Joe shot one last year, banded.
Yes.
Yeah, that really nice one. I think it was a double beard banded bird.
I remember seeing.
Real
I remember
nice
seeing
turkey.
somebody post that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was Seaburn.
Yeah, that's right.
He shot that freaking stud.
But yeah, that was the end of the season. But yeah, I mean, that's like, I think I texted you. I was like, yeah, I couldn't have ended in a more unorthodox way. Like, this is just, yeah.
Dude, I got to get this out because I've had this thought in my mind like 6 times during your stories. And it's like, is there anything more awkward than shooting at a turkey standing up? It's the most awkward thing in the world. I hate it.
I've done it a
Yeah,
lot.
I hate it. Not a
It's
fan.
like everybody's got this, you know, it's taboo. You got to have your back to a tree. You got to be sitting on the ground. It can be done. That both my PA bird, that's the big hammer of a bird I killed in PA. On Memorial Day, I was standing up. I killed
I
three.
think you killed them all this year standing up.
I've killed 4 birds this year standing up.
Well, you either shoot them standing up or on your belly. So it's,
There's only one
Crawl and
yeah,
stand.
the New York
do the
bird,
bend and snap.
The New York bird I was sitting down,
bend and
but the other
snap,
4 were I was standing up.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
I don't
you
know.
can get
for
away
me-
with it. I mean, but I'm not standing in the. I mean, that was the wide open, but it was bang bang, and I had cover.
Yeah.
And I was able to make the move.
I didn't mean that in like a negative way.
No,
just
no,
like,
no.
It is
No,
very.
he did.
I
He
did
did.
it in Virginia
it took
with you.
It took years.
And it was like trying to get my red dot to settle on him offhand standing up was really weird. And like, I don't know. It was
There's
just
a
weird.
lot
It
of
was
birds
different.
that I probably would have killed in the past if all I had to do was just stand up.
Yeah.
But you think
Same.
like, you know, I mean, they're obviously not dumb, and they will not let you get away with a lot. But if you put yourself in the right position at the right time, you can get away with it. And if you're set up in the position before they break and crest, whether you're sitting or standing, if you have some cover.
Yeah. I've stood on birds many times.
Yeah.
Many times.
It's
waiting.
It's a
hasn't-
very efficient way to.
It is.
Yeah.
It hasn't always worked out for me, but like sometimes the position you put yourself in, you have to stand.
Yeah.
You have to
Like,
stand.
you have to stand.
I'm not standing
Whether it's-
because I want to.
Right.
Right.
Whether it's clearing
Yeah.
brush or clearing that little
It's
bit
always,
of terrain.
It's always in a position where I
just
have to
awkward.
use that, or like that I need that extra elevation gain to be able to see the bird. It's not like I'm just out there standing because or in a situation where I could just sit down and open hardwood.
new hunting technique found in Pennsylvania. Where man just
and
stands
it's certainly
and
not
shoots turkeys.
it's certainly not new either. There's a lot of guys that do it. It's just situational. It's just like
is.
anything else. Like you were talking about in a field, in the middle of a field where you got to use a blind.
Yeah.
Well, if you're in somewhere that's super thick and you're on the backside of a roll of a hill, you can't sit down. You got to stand up. You know what I mean?
I just love the exact opposite of you standing up to shoot that bird and me curled up in a fetal position, waiting for the turkey to come out and go, did someone say shenanigans? And just pop his head out.
No, but it sounded like that was the right spot, right
Yeah,
call for
absolutely.
that situation.
Yeah.
I like to think so.
It's not. I mean, you killed the bird.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was the right
I've
call.
only shot 1 or 2 standing. In this one, the one in New York, I was almost standing. I was up on my knees.
I'm not going to
It's
get through a
just-
season without killing one standing. It's
Yeah,
been
yeah.
years now.
Yeah.
It's I feel like it's a good tactic, but man, when I do it, because I've only done it a couple times, it's
You're
hard for
usually
me
in
to
some
settle
sort of
that gun.
horrible spot.
That's the problem. Yeah, you're in a terrible position, and you're trying to hold a gun up.
I don't know if it's a terrible position. It's
Sometimes I put myself in pretty
Yeah.
bad positions, Joe.
yeah. Well, I mean, we all do. Yeah. But it's not so
pretty
terrible
tough.
if you just stand up.
Suspicious
You might
eyes.
be right. Maybe that's what I've been missing this whole time. I just need to stand up. Everything would be solved.
Just freezes the bird that extra little bit. They're like, wait, what'd you do?
Yeah, what is that guy doing? He's not sitting. He can't shoot me. Pow! Got him, bitch. Got him. Got him. Oh man. Well, that's
That's a
listen,
wrap.
great season all around.
Congratulations to
Austin.
everybody.
Next year's your year, buddy.
Yeah, there you go.
You were trying to kill him with a bow, though. This is
That
on
is
you.
true. That is true.
Oh,
I
you
think
got
we
nice
said
snot
that
coming.
after this last hunt. Like, we're getting a bird together.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%.
This is what, our second hunt now?
Yeah.
2 years in a row?
Yeah.
We're due.
We are. Yeah, we're
due.
We're
It's
due.
happening.
It's gonna be fun too.
It's
You're
happening.
trying to get Bo wild.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
guy's out here trying to bow him.
That's silly.
I was trying to bow him.
I was trying to be as supportive as I could.
I know you were. Next time I go hunt with you, though, I'm going to bring the old 410. I think.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. It'll be good.
Tungsten.
I
in
like
the
tried to
face.
drop back over the hill to call for
I
that
know
bird.
you
You were
did.
like, no, you stay up here. You stay here. I was like, I'm just trying to get you a shot.
I know you were. You were trying hard, man.
The way you
In the
guys are
snake pit.
standing and shooting birds, you're just going to end up putting on
Yeah,
like
little
turkey
did we-
pushes
little did we know.
soon enough. That'll be the next step.
Yeah.
Could you
That'd
imagine?
be good.
That would be terrible.
Yeah.
All right,
Turkey drives?
turkey drives.
Yeah,
No
turkey
such
drives
thing.
doesn't sound too
No
great.
such thing.
Listen, when J-Bo was here last year, not this year, he was legitimately trying to put turkey drives on for me. I was like, dude, that is not how you hunt turkeys.
No.
J-Bo, buddy, I love you, but we can't do
In
that.
Florida,
Like,
we do it different.
I was like, bro, we
Get the
can
dog- get the dogs.
We literally cannot do that. That is not legal, buddy. Like you can't even pursue a turkey in Pennsylvania. It's the dumbest shit in the world.
I would like to kill one day in the fall hunting with dogs.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
want to experience it one time.
Yeah,
Just one time.
We know a guy.
I do know a guy, bastard. I've been wanting to go with him forever.
Come on, man.
He's got a
I
great
think that would be
dog.
really cool.
Yeah.
He kills
yeah.
birds they all kill
I just
birds
love
every
hunting
year.
with dogs.
I so badly want to like put a GoPro on his dog when he busts the flock.
Oh, well,
I just think it
that
would be so cool
Oh, so
looking.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he said he's tried though, and it's really hard keeping one on him. This shit
He's got to have the right mount.
starts flying through. And
I want to
stuff.
back one into a corner and punch it to death. Is that odd?
I punched a fly here last night.
You did. Literally
Straight
out of the
jab.
air.
Are you being serious?
Yeah,
Yeah. Like literally.
Straight jab, first punch, fucking rocked him.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Yeah,
That's pretty
I
sweet.
also
Are you
caught
to
a
get him
fly
mounted?
tonight. Yeah, I might. He is mounted. He's up somewhere in here.
Oh, well.
You got to look harder.
Yeah. All right, guys.
All right, boys.
Well, great season. Congratulations to all you freaking killers.
Appreciate you
And,
guys coming out.
Oh,
It's gonna be a
thanks.
long off season.
Is it though? Because I'm
Nah,
fishing now, and
it's
it's
coming.
It's gonna be a long off season.
It's coming. There's a lot of stuff in between.
Depression is set in pretty hard.
oh,
Yeah. Yep.
I'll cry
Yeah, I
for
mean,
you,
we
man.
got we got 4th of July.
Rattlesnake season's coming.
We got Labor Day.
stupid.
Coming.
No,
I think that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
fishing. It's fishing season.
I don't care about fishing.
You're gonna.
Rattlesnake season's coming, man.
No.
Nope.
We gotta go
Yeah, I'm
find
good
some
on that.
snakes. None of you?
Why are
No.
you like this?
I'll watch you.
You want to come? Let's do it. It actually is fun.
Me
I
and
mean,
Joe
when
just
you go?
FaceTime you.
When do you go?
We haven't set a date yet, but it's like mid-June through the end of July.
Is
We'll
it like
just
a
pick
is
a
it like a
weekend.
day trip or is it like
We'll pick a weekend. Usually we'll go up like Friday, hunt pretty much all morning Saturday, go get lunch somewhere.
Is that your camp?
We usually base camp out of my camp, but we might base camp out of a different camp if we can, closer to, just because it's a
We'll
lot
see
closer.
how ballsy I'm feeling when you text me.
If we go back to the turkey camp where we were this year,
Yeah.
it's like a half an hour from there.
Oh,
It's like 2 hours from my camp.
might use that as a base camp.
We might try to use their camp as a base camp.
I wouldn't mind going back there.
Yeah, and then just from there
I
going
wish I
out
could have
because
spent
it's
more
so
time
much closer.
there. Yeah.
No, this is all dumb. This is all dumb talk.
It's
All
so
right, I got to tell you the other story about New York. Let's rip it.
all right.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.